So anyway, what's really fascinating about this whole thing is that Anna seems to be on a one-woman crusade to completely undermine any kind of conviction she once had. And for instance, this is a brilliant tweet that she decided to go ahead and publish. Let me share this with you here. This morning, she wrote this. The civil rights movement did not use the same strategies as the trans movement. They didn't barricade speakers they disagreed with in a classroom for 3 hours. They persuaded through nonviolence and showing America their humanity. Famously nonviolent civil rights movement. Like there was no violence that happened at all on either side, really, in the civil rights movement. Yeah, sure. I say that with an absolute straight face. I there are a lot of dumb tweets out there, like a lot. There are a lot of really, really. Oh yeah, Malcolm X, super nonviolent, super. You know, I. But this takes the cake is quite possibly the dumbest fucking tweet I've ever read in my life. Just when you have the context for it, which everybody does. But a lot, and the one thing that's interesting about this, the only people who would actually agree with this are people who, it's not that they haven't looked into the civil rights movement, it's that they actively deny anything they've ever heard about it. That's the only people that will agree with this tweet. It's not even catering to ignorant people. It's catering to people who are like legit denialists of how history worked, how history happened. Some people are being more charitable and saying Anna just is ignorant. No, fuck that. No, fuck that. Nobody is that fucking ignorant. I'm sorry. That is insanely stupid. No. And in fact, I would say probably 90% of Americans don't even understand how bad the civil rights movement got. It got bad, super bad. It would honestly, I think everybody would benefit greatly if they got a chance to go and visit the Civil Rights Museum in Memphis. It is very illuminating. Yeah. Yeah, Stonewall riots, and I mean, there's just so much to it, so much to it. So, all that in mind, what we're doing today is we're gonna watch a video. We're gonna analyze it, and there's a very specific reason why we're watching this video. Okay, so this video. This is a clip from the Sitch and Adam show, comedy show. Now, I am particularly delighted that she went on this show. I previously had a bit of respect for Sitch. That's since eroded. I do not care nor give a shit about this person. I think he's basically a contentious hack prick. Adam Friended is one of the most pompous jackasses on the internet. Somebody whose entire identity is so predicated and based upon him feeling that he has this sense of like smug superiority. Yet, when directly confronted, like I did, and I asked him to, because he said, you could come on my show and we could talk about, and he started rattling off all these stupid fucking philosophical things. And I'm like, why would I want to care about that? I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to debate that. I'll debate woke with you, but I'm not going to do it on your channel or my channel. We'll do it on a mutual channel. That way, neither of us has a monetary incentive, and neither of us have our emotional support audience. And you know what he said? No. Backed off, ran away from it, because he's a spineless dickhead. Also, these two are permanently stuck 7 years in the goddamn past. And they say the exact same boring fucking enlightened centrist, basically right-winger talking points, while using a plausible deniability so nobody actually can call them necessarily, although you still can. And then it is what it is. They seem like Tim Pool light. Yeah, basically, but they color it in just enough that any of their younger audience who's basically got their nose so far up their asses that they're like, yeah, we're the reasonable, moderate, centrist ones. Yeah, of course. So, yeah. I want a shirt or hat with emotional support audience on it. I should make those. I use that term a lot, a whole lot. And in fact, I probably would have done a lot more debates in the past, except very specifically, I have told people that I had heated like conversations with, I won't do a debate with you if it's with your emotional support audience or mine. So pick somebody else and somewhere else to do it. They won't do it. They won't do it. The only reason Vosh lost the first debate with Sargon was because Sitch and Adam intervened on Sargon's behalf. That's true. That's very true. Yeah, these guys, they'll disagree with Sargon, but they agree with him more than they disagree. It's pretty fucking dumb. Anyway, so Anna decided to go on this very progressive, left-leaning show to talk about some serious issues. So we're gonna go ahead and like look at this. We're gonna analyze it, and yeah.
Okay. Hey now, it's your boy PSA Sitch here with another Sunday show with everyone's favorite Supreme Court enthusiast, Adam Frenda.
Oh, yeah. I've been reading up on the Supreme Court, Sitch. I'm learning so much about how our country functions. It's amazing. And we have, look, a special guest with us here today, Anna Kasparian, co-host of The Young Turks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to introduce yourself? I mean, I feel like everyone, our audience definitely knows who you are, but
People still haven't moved on past the 2016 culture war nonsense. Actually, before we get further into this video, before we really start, I do want to make mention of this. One thing I will give Adam and Sitch is that whereas many other YouTube content creators sold out, like they legit did, they sold out. Sargon sold out. Lauren sold out. These are people who just like cast off any degree of being reasonable or actually having like moderate takes or examining things from a different lens. They just straight fucking sold out. They sold out for money. These guys just are incapable of moving forward. And I don't think anybody purchased them. I don't think anybody bought them, you know? So I'll give them some credit. They are this fucking stupid all on their own without any corporate money. So I'll give them that one little ounce, that super tiny little ounce of credit, you know?
you're probably doing other things as well.
At the moment, I'm not. I'm mostly focusing on TYT. But yeah, I'm the executive producer and co-host of The Young Turks and have been since 2007. And, I've done other things on the side at various points of my career. But for now, that's the main focus.
Okay, so we're very excited to have this conversation. We started talking a little bit before the show, and you seem open to talking about a lot of things. You seem to be going through kind of a political transformation, evolution. I don't really know the right word to call it, but I'll
Chat, how many weeks do we have left? Because it's not going to be months. How many weeks do we have left before Anna Kasparian puts out a video why I left the left? Anybody? What's the over under on that one? You know.
let you talk about that. But first of all, people want to know, because you did mention in our little chat in DMs that I was wrong about the Daily Wire thing. Now, I make predictions on the show all the time, and I have never been wrong before. So people, I've been making jokes about you might end up at the Daily Wire. That's not true?
No. It's funny because, I'm going through something very real and very sincere and it's uncomfortable and it has not been an enjoyable process for me. It's been difficult.
Poor Anna.
And so the internet being what it is, all sorts of people from all sorts of political ideologies have theories on like what's actually happening with me, right? And the main accusation, both from the left and the right, is that I'm grifting, which is hilarious because literally nothing has changed about my work life.
And the thing is, it does feel like she cashed a check. It does. It legitimately does. The problem is that if this is an organic, like, my convictions are worth less to me than my fucking my small inconveniences, my perceived slights and inconveniences from people that I'll never see, that's even fucking worse, Anna. That's really goddamn sad. Listen, I used to actually really care about these types of things, but they make me feel weird and slightly uncomfortable. Like, keep in mind, one of the reasons why this whole thing has started is because Anna got upset because a very, very small section of the medical community, when discussing different ways to address, pregnancies, decided that they wanted to use the term birthing person. And Anna personally felt that she was having her womanhood erased because a very, very tiny, tiny group in a very specific set of circumstances discussed the concept that maybe they would refer to them as birthing person. What in the fuck? RFK 2024? Dude, you can go fuck yourself. No anti-vax shit in my government, okay? Kiss my ass.
I'm in the same place. I have the same audience. The audience doesn't like some of what I have to say or some of the new conclusions I've come to. And so I wanted to kind of set the record straight about what I have personally experienced. I don't know what my political labels are at this point.
Oh.
I met some individuals who, though it be good to drink unpurified water with high level of hydrogen sulfide, eat peach cherry pits to cured cancer.
Oh, sure.
WTF.
Oh, yeah. No, there's all sorts of people. You have to keep in mind, and I'm hoping that we're going to be getting back to some more of the alternative cure scam busting here pretty soon. But keep in mind, it's like a grift as old as time. All you got to do is pick one random thing that people aren't regularly consuming and be like, hey, if you do that, it'll cure cancer. Here is a bunch of mushmouth information that really doesn't prove it, Very common. It's sad that people fall for it, but it's very true. She doesn't know what her political labels are at this point. Sounds like Dave Rubin to me.
Right, because I feel like I don't really fit anywhere. And that's just full honesty. It's, again, very uncomfortable for me. And I want to say that out of any point in my adult life, this is probably the point where I'm the most malleable and open to new information because of what I've experienced over the last few years. And I can get into details about that in just a moment. But
yeah,
that was the reason why I told Adam that, no, this isn't like a Daily Wire thing. I have no interest in working at the Daily Wire. I have no interest of leaving TYT. If anything, I just feel a responsibility to kind of correct what I got wrong in the past to the best of my ability and just do better moving forward. And the reason why I've been at TYT as long as I have is, despite what any of you might think about Jake, he has never once tried to censor me or tell me what I can and can't say. That's the reason why, we get into these fiery debates and there's never any.
I'll give them that. They do tend to butt heads quite a bit. And I do like that. I do understand and kind of accept that that's how these things work. But at the same time, they're close enough in opinion that it really doesn't diverge that much. And I think the fieriness usually comes from the fact that both of these insufferable fucking people, Anna and Cenk, just desperately think that they're right all the goddamn time. It was amazing. Some of their takes on Ukraine and there was this one section that they did recently where Russian propaganda was saying that the dam that got blown up was blown up by the Ukrainians, and the evidence that they showed on TYT was disseminated specifically from pro-Russian far-right sources. I was like, what are you guys doing? What the fuck are you talking about? It's so weird. Super, super weird.
Retaliation for it. And as long as I'm free to speak my mind and genuinely speak my mind the way I have been, I plan on staying there. And there's absolutely no monetary or financial incentive for me to do anything I'm doing right now.
Well, Sitch and I box a lot on this show. And I think people, I think they like that. I think they admire that we are able to fight with one another over a policy position and still walk away friends. So I think
that's actually pretty important. I will give Adam that. It is good when you can have a good clashing of heads and still be friends after the fact. I think it's very healthy. Very, very healthy. The difference is that when we're talking about media that is designed and curated to be disseminated as information to people who are just consuming it, that it can be different than people having that interaction in real life. There is very little. No, speaking as somebody who's been doing YouTube for a long time, I've gotten involved with different media companies. I understand this kind of thing. There is very little that is similar between you having a fiery debate with your friend and seeing a fiery debate that is like being presented to you through an internet show. It's different. It is not the same. Not at all. Not even close.
Last week, I was watching a bunch of your most recent videos. And I mean, you're snapping back at Jank quite often. I mean, it's actually quite refreshing. There's a couple things, and we have questions on these, but I'll let Sitch. I don't know. Do you have anything that you want to ask before we get started?
So yeah, it turns out that Anna is a massive fan of our program. She's seen every episode, just huge fan, right?
Well, okay, so I happened to come across a video you guys did about me. It was the stream on, I hate to name names, but you guys were covering the leftist mafia and their insane gaslighting video about me. And you guys were the only ones, as far as I could see, that actually did a good job in highlighting how badly they were gaslighting me.
Right.
And so
you you guys defended me against somebody that I hate and you automatically hated, and so you did a very good job. Okay. All right. Sure.
I thank you for doing that, because, you know, when everyone around you, everyone who alleges to be your friends, tells you something you know isn't true, but they keep repeating it to you over and over again, you start asking yourself, like, am I the crazy one? You know? So that
Sometimes, I mean, that could be a cause for self-examination. It's a fascinating psychological situation where, you know, I mean, it's not really main character syndrome, but it's bordering on it in certain aspects. And I do think Anna is suffering from main character syndrome in some ways. But, you know, yeah, if everybody around you, your friends, your family, you know, they're all like, dude, I think you're wrong. I mean, it is worth analyzing. And if you still come to the conclusion that, no, actually, I am right, they're all wrong, blah, blah, blah. Well, fine, but at least, like, give it a shot, you know? But it is kind of a warning flag, you know? If you're just playing by the numbers, who is most likely to be right or wrong, et cetera, unless, of course, like, you have a PhD, you know? Like, you are a fucking, or not, you don't have to have a PhD, but you're a fucking expert on something. You know, you've studied it for years and years and years and years, and everybody around you is wrong. I get that. But when it comes to, like, social issues, you know, sociology kind of shit, like, maybe self-examine.
I really appreciated that. But, you know, you guys have put out a ton of videos about me that have not been friendly or nice, and it's okay. I mean, I can be a good sport about it, and I do think that you guys raised a few valid points, and I just need to be willing to accept where I was wrong and where people are critiquing from good faith. Like, you guys have a little bit of an edgy style, so I'll acknowledge that. But I have thick skin, so it didn't really bother me that much.
I mean, that's commendable. You know, we're on this kind of like internet environment where everyone's very attacky to each other.
Totally.
Especially when they're not like engaging with them in person. So
yeah,
you have to have kind of a thick skin. And I know, but I mean, you're talking about earlier, and one of the things that we always commended you on.
Somebody was asking, isn't the leftist mafia the one with Illuminati? Is that? I don't know. I haven't really watched that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, regardless, they have not made another stream in about 2 months. That one's a whole big mess. Anyway.
You know, when you publicly came out and you said that you were wrong about the Rittenhouse video, which, I mean, most people, when they make a mistake, they just try to hide it or they try to shift blame. You know, Jimmy Dore very, you know, famously shifted blame to his producer. And I thought it was really commendable that you came out and you're like, no, I got this wrong. And you were trying to show, not just do this like for your sake, but to say like, listen, audience, you know, you need to understand that this is the story. And you know, I don't want you guys to have the wrong information.
Yeah, there was. Look,
I will give Adam and Sitch that one thing. They did call Jimmy Dore out pretty severely on their show, and Jimmy Dore got so pissed off he hung up and left. Now that was pretty great.
The one, I guess, through line you'll notice in the various things that we're going to talk about in this conversation is that it just became abundantly clear to me that where I was getting my information. And I'm not just talking about like, you know, independent lefty outlets. I'm talking about like legacy media outlets, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, it's not that they report misinformation, it's that they omit details of the story that
Right.
would, you know, maybe the additional details of the story don't change your mind at all, right? But it's not up to them to decide that. Like, we should know every detail. I think the Amy Cooper story is another example.
That's a very strange. That's a very strange thing to say as somebody who works in media as well, because the problem with that is that I don't know why the chat just goes ape shit. This plugin for the chat just suddenly fills up with the YouTube chat. It's really weird. Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at I don't know where Leftist Mafia is. I don't watch it. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to go check it out. But it's a weird thing for her to say, like, there might be some details, some context that's left out. News is curated. The Young Turks does it too. So does Anna does it all the time. I've seen her do it a lot. You know, so you can make that as a condemnation of like mainstream media, but it's a condemnation of all media. You know.
You know, it was fairly recently I came across Camille Foster's very in-depth investigation into that story, and there were so many details of that story that were intentionally omitted or left out of the legacy media reporting of it.
I don't know. I don't remember.
And that painted a picture in my mind and in the minds of many others that, you know, there's no justification for the way that she was, you know, panicking when she was on the phone with the 911 dispatcher, right? But then you get this, then you find out, based on what Camille Foster had found out and reported, was that like she didn't have good cell reception. So the person on the other end of that conversation couldn't hear her. She was panicking because she genuinely thought that she was at risk after, here's another thing that was omitted in a lot of the reports, after she was literally threatened by the bird watcher, right? Who said, right, you know, if you're going to do what you want, I'm going to do what I want, and you're not going to like it. And then he proceeds to try to lure her dog to him. And listen, you might still feel that her behavior was uncalled for, whatever, that's up to you. But you should know all those details. And I will say, from my personal opinion, if I'm alone at a park and some random guy tries to lure my dog away from me, I'm gonna freak out. You know, like I just am.
I have no.
And so,
I have
okay,
no
with the Rittenhouse
idea.
story, I was gonna cover the trial.
No idea what she's talking about as far as this random news story. Who would have cut TYT a check? I want to know about the money. Well, I mean, I can't tell you who cut them a check or even if there is a check, but I know the pipeline when I see it. And again, if this is not a case of a check, that makes it worse. It makes it really sad. It makes it so self-important and self-interested that it's horrifying, to be honest. So I don't know. But I do know people that did cash checks, for sure. For sure. She scoffed at Anna regarding the leftist mafia, but haven't even seen her. I didn't comment on her comment about the leftist mafia. I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, chill the fuck out. Anyway, here we go.
And I just needed to go back and just like really, really look at all of the details and remember all the details. So when I do the story, I get the facts right. And then as I'm doing that, I come across a New York Times video. This was a really, really well done video that they posted on YouTube that showed you in slow motion, like how everything transpired that night.
Mm-hmm.
And once you see it for yourself, it's really, really difficult to argue that in those moments, he was not acting in self-defense. And right, this is an area where, you know, Cenk and I disagree because, you know, if someone's hitting you over the head with a skateboard, that could kill you, you know? And so.
Oh, yeah. Jeff, remember when you did a video on Red Pill Black, aka Candace Owens, before she became the KK Clandis we know and endure absolutely the pipeline? I know, man. I know. It is what it is. And that's the other thing, too, is you never know which way and which direction people are going to go. But you can predict behaviors if you're aware of it and you're very familiar with it. And Candace was very, very far left. She was a hardcore lefty. And she saw that opportunity, and she fucking jumped on it. She jumped on that shit as quick as possible. So, I don't know. It is what it is.
You know, Cenk is he's a strong-minded person, and he's not one to back down from a fight. So in his mind, you know, someone confronts you with a skateboard, he doesn't see it as a threat, but I do. And Rittenhouse is not a big burly guy who can like defend himself against someone who's like hitting him over the head with a skateboard as he's lying on his back. So
Right.
once I saw all those details, first of all, I had to convey them to my audience and be honest about what the reality was. The other thing was, you know, there was a lot of misreporting about how Kyle Rittenhouse was in possession of an illegal weapon and that he crossed state lines with that illegal weapon.
No.
Okay?
Yep.
So that was a lie. And it's not a lie that I just made up in my mind, right? That was how it was reported initially, which is why I would mention the state lines, but not because, oh, how dare he cross state lines? Anyone in this country has the right to cross state lines. It was because it was reported that he was in possession of an illegal gun,
Right.
and he traveled across state lines with an illegal gun.
Okay, so yeah, when news breaks and like really noteworthy things happen, very commonly they don't have all the information. And people report on it wrong, for sure. You can always attribute it to malice if you want. You can, but there is that old saying. It's usually better to attribute something to stupidity or ignorance rather than direct malice. But yeah, sure. This is such an old fucking talking point. But the thing is, it's interesting to bring up Rittenhouse because nobody really gives a shit about Rittenhouse except for one specific political bent. And they pretty much worship him like a fucking god. It's really weird.
Which is a serious charge, but it turned out that he did not travel across state lines with that
Yeah,
weapon.
he didn't do that. Yeah, the weapon
Right.
was in the area already. Yeah.
Exactly. He bought it from a friend when he was already in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
The night of that event, I mean, maybe a day afterwards, Sitch and I were watching those videos online as they were breaking out. And I saw the reporting was basically wrong on CNN the night the viral videos were released. Don Lemon was saying, you know, a white kid shoots into a crowd of Black Lives Matter protesters.
That's kind of true. Technically, that's true. He did. Like, you see the video before he's running away, the first time he engages and shoots, that's a crowd. Those are Black Lives Matter supporters. So where's the lie in that? I mean, you could say it's phrased a little bit hyperbolic and shit. Yeah, sure, I'd agree with that.
And I'm like, what?
Yep.
That's insane. Yeah. So they kind of poison the narrative from the get-go. And then everyone just kind of gets caught up in it.
Yeah, and that's how misinformation spreads. And that was a pivotal moment for me because, again,
a literal year's worth of misinformation on Rittenhouse super cop out to blame breaking news. No. Within a week and a half, the it's an illegal weapon debunked, and he crossed state lines with the illegal weapon debunked. Like, that was a week and a half. Like, I'm sorry if you remember it differently, but no. Like, everybody understood that. It really then came down to the trial, which is, was he guilty of murder or not? And in the eyes of the law, he was not. That's all there is to it. Now, and that's why I hate why people even bring this up, because it's over. It's already over. There's so much more interesting things to talk about. If you want to talk about the situation, you could be like, why do we have a culture where a literal child felt the need to go kill people, or at least threaten to kill people for someone else's property? That's kind of fucking weird and inhuman. And why do we do that? It's kind of strange. And then, like, why all the ridiculous shit that Kyle does now, like, we can talk about that. That's interesting. But, like, the actual cases of, like, who did this and who did that, it's ridiculous. Like, it's so weird. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Like, it's already over. The trial's over. You can't go back and retry the kid. It's it. So, like, and the only people who give a shit, the only people that actually give a shit and get any kind of emotion about it, like there is somebody in the chat right now that's a bit emotional and want to talk about how unfairly he was treated, are people who are right-wingers who desperately want their chance to be able to shoot somebody. It's weird. Calm down.
Again, misinforming the audience is not something I have any interest in. And I might give them the facts and they might not like it, but I can't withhold information from them because I'm afraid that they might not like it. So I'm going to give them the facts. But, you know, I've learned to be better about, first of all, the sources I trust. I make an effort to just be cognizant of the filter bubbles we all exist in, the filter bubbles I exist in. And I've broken through that bubble a little bit to, you know, look at other sources that I typically wouldn't have looked at. And then the other thing that I do now is I just wait. You know, I think the story involving the so-called city bike Karen is a good example of that. The main show, because TYT consists of many different shows, right? The show that I'm the executive producer and host of is the main flagship show, The Young Turks. And prior to that story breaking, I had a meeting with my team and I was like, listen, I don't want you guys pitching stories about random individuals in the country who are caught in an out of context video allegedly behaving badly. I think these stories are divisive. I don't think we usually have the full details before we talk about these stories. And honestly, at the end of the day, engaging in these witch hunts is actually causing more division and hate in the country than anything.
That's literally what Anna is still doing right now. She does that shit on Twitter. She's been doing it for 2 fucking days. She takes like this very, very tiny, nitpicky little section of something small that's happening and makes it a huge issue, where otherwise nobody would give a shit. Nobody would care. Like, this is such a self-report. Like, she's saying the things that we're doing that is a negative aspect of the media we should maybe not do, and yet she still does them. She does them all the fucking time. It's crazy. Be honest about the bad reporting for a week and a half. Come on, bro. Listen, look, I'm going to be honest with you here because I'm already past talking about the Rittenhouse thing because I don't care. The trial's over. But you, right now, there's 2 of you in the chat. You really do care about this Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and that poor Kyle was misrepresented. He got his day in court. He got off. He did not. He's legally not a murderer. If you are still so if you are still so fucking butthurt about it, I very, very much think that you need to re-examine your life and your priorities in this shit. You are not Kyle Rittenhouse. If that is something that is so intrinsically in-depth that you want to derail an entire stream where we're going to be moving on to a lot of different things, and you really have that big of a problem, unsubscribe from my fucking channel and don't ever watch my content again until you can figure out what the fuck is wrong with you that you're so obsessed with it, okay? Because I'm not going to entertain this anymore. I've given you far too much charity as it is.
Anything else? So like if there's a story that's particularly like jarring and you guys really do want to cover it, that's fine, but just understand that we are going to wait. Like we are not in the business of breaking news. I don't give a shit about being the first in reporting the story or whatever. I want to make sure that when we do, we actually report it correctly and we don't have egg on our face later. Now, there are a bunch of...
By the way, thank you, Colin Costco. Appreciate you, buddy.
...of other shows on the network that I have no say over, that I have no control over who, you know, inaccurately reported on it and had to issue retractions. They had to take videos down and all that stuff. And I just think that was a teachable moment, hopefully a teachable moment for everyone in the company. But certainly, you know, this is an ongoing conversation I have with my team. And luckily, I don't know how I did it. I feel like I found unicorn producers because they're really smart, super open-minded. You know, they're less interested in this left versus right or partisan garbage. And they're more interested in making sure that if we're going to report stories, we get it accurate. And so we're moving slowly but surely in a direction that I think is better.
I thought you liked when people could disagree and move on. Yeah, dude, disagree all you fucking want, man. But Jesus Christ, like hyper-focusing on that shit? Yeah. It'd really help if you debated Tim Pool. I would love to debate Tim Pool. It's really funny that you stalk me across multiple channels to ask me if I'll debate Tim Pool and say I'm a coward because I won't. I will debate Tim Pool. But you know what I'd like to do even more than debate Tim Pool? I want to fight him in a boxing ring. That's what I want to do. Yep. That's,
Whoopsie.
I'd love to do that. That'd be great.
Not just for the show, but I think better in terms of like what we add to society. Like the last thing I want to do.
Hey, Amber Ducky, thank you very much for the sub over on Twitch. Appreciate you.
Is be the other side of right-wing disinformation, right? Like, if we're going to be critical of disinformation we see happening in various videos and that are produced by other people, we should at least look inward a little bit and make sure that we're doing our due diligence.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's interesting you were saying how with the media, a lot of the misinformation comes from like they leave stuff out. And that's been my experience too, just this intentional leaving out of key information, or they'll like the head.
Yeah, but how do you know it's like intentionally leaving something out or not? I mean, I'm sure it does happen, of course, but it's very easy, especially when you work in like alternative media. It's very easy to position that into like the most malicious way possible. I mean, I don't know, dude. It's possible, but it's still just a weird thing.
Headline or the subsection will kind of frame something in a very specific way. So even when you get to like kind of the contradictory information, your mind is already like made up by that point, so it doesn't matter. And so it leads to this kind of effect where like once a person once that story hits that, like you or me or anyone, because I kind of went to the same experience where like once something hits me in a specific way, like it's like I'm free of the matrix. Suddenly I'm starting to see like things a little bit differently. All the dominoes kind of start to fall, and I say, oh wait, I start to see like where all the misinformation is coming from. Was the Rittenhouse thing like, was that?
Oh my God, why are we still on this fucking, how long ago was it? I am so fucking sick of this shit. How long ago was this? Because my fucking God, dude, it is so irritating. It's almost been 3 years. In August, it will have been 3 years. There are so many other fucking things to talk about. Holy shit. What the fuck?
Like the key moment, or was there something else that kind of like made you shift your thinking?
So that was one of the pivotal moments, but honestly, I would say everything for me started when I started getting gaslit on the crime wave. And it's really interesting to talk about these various political issues in the abstract. But then once you personally experience something, and once you see something happening in the country with your own two eyes, and your political side is incessantly gaslighting you on it, it makes you question, well, what else are you guys lying about? Or what else are you guys gaslighting about? And that's what happened. So, during the pandemic, there was absolutely a crime wave in the country, mostly in like major cities. Los Angeles happened to be one of them. And, I talked about how I, was assaulted. Well, actually, let me give you the details again, because there's an element to that story that I've never shared with anyone that also explains where my head's at now. So, as I was walking my dog one day, there were these two guys. They appeared to be homeless. They appeared to be on something. They looked like they might be methed out or something because they were kind of acting erratically. But, typically when I come across guys like that, if I ignore them, they won't do anything. That wasn't the case this time around. They're coming toward me, and my dog, Charlie, like he does his business. And as I bend over to pick up his business, one of them grabs me by my hips and just like with an erection and everything just starts like humping me like right there, like broad daylight. And it was terrifying because like I didn't have any weapon with me, no taser, no pepper spray, nothing. And luckily the guy, he did that, and then he and his friend walk away while they're like laughing at me. And I felt so degraded, scared, and like the first.
I mean, that's terrible that happened. That's awful. That's terrible. I mean, that sucks.
First thing I did is I called my husband, and he came down and he's like, where are they? And he started looking for them. We couldn't find them. The cops wouldn't come. Like, we actually had an incident in front of our building like a few weeks prior to that. That was really scary. We called the police, and the police just wouldn't come. Like, it was amazing. And now in retrospect, I realized the reason why is because there was a shortage. And I think that there was like an unofficial strike considering what happened in 2020 and all the protests. So they just
wait. Okay. So this is this is going into a really strange place. Okay. there's a few different ways you can look at this so far. And again, I'm not the one who had experiences. I'm another one who had to live through it. I've had to deal with plenty of bad shit in my life, and sometimes it's with stuff that happens on the street, and it sucks. It's really unfortunate. But it's a really weird line of connection here where she's like, okay, so I couldn't find the guys. We called the cops wouldn't come. Now, there was a shortage probably because of the 2020 thing. What 2020 thing? Are we talking like protests? Because that's kind of what it reads like to me. Or is it, that what else? There's something else that happened in 2020. Something that was actually way more important and more impactful, and like this big fucking thing that impacted the whole world, actually. The whole world that made shortages in everything. What was that? Does anybody remember what that was? Does anybody, I mean, you could just blame it on the fact that the fucking cops didn't show up, like you could blame it on the fact that like cops only help with trying to respond to violence rather than prevent violence. You could go along the lines of talking like maybe we need to address the chronic issues of homelessness. You could go many different ways, or you can very casually kind of push it vaguely into one political direction. It's really strange. It's really weird.
Wouldn't show up, and I just didn't even think to call the cops because I'm like, what's the point? These guys have already left, and they're not going to be able to find them. But anyway, I opened up about that, and I also started opening up about, just what the statistics were indicating in regard to crime and how it's obviously having a negative impact on all communities, but mostly the communities that like BLM and leftists claim to care so much about, the disadvantaged communities. Crime on the metro system in LA has been unbelievable. And the majority of people who take the metro, who take buses and public transportation, they're usually like immigrant workers. They're usually, blue collar workers who, don't have enough money to buy a car, for instance.
Yeah.
And so I was like, why are you guys cool with just having these people deal with this kind of violence? There was like
what are they supposed to do? Like, wait, what do you? So it's so it's the left's fault that there is a lot of crime. How? In what way? What? In what fucking way? Is she about to 1350? I fucking hope not. I don't think so. I think I would have heard about that before. Like that. It's. I don't know, man. Is it strong Tulsi behavior? Oh no, fuck yeah, dude. Tulsi cashed the check for sure.
A phase last year where people were literally being set on fire randomly on buses. And that would get no attention, no news coverage, and it would infuriate me. And so when I opened up about what happened to me in my own neighborhood, what I thought was telling was how not everyone, but some people accuse me of pushing racist stereotypes. But I had never, ever disclosed the race of these two individuals, ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they just assumed that these two guys were black. They weren't black. They were two white guys. But like
I wasn't there. I didn't see any of this. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. But sure, okay, whatever.
Never shared that publicly because I didn't think the race really mattered. Right? What actually happened mattered, and I thought the reaction to it by the people who were supposed to allegedly want dignity for everyone reacted to it. Like that really bothered me. So that was the beginning of it. I would say that's what started.
Well, I'm still confused by this though. So like. How is this a condemnation against like the media or on the left because of the crime? Like she made some weird statements that like these are happening in places where that they say that they care about. Well, what are they supposed to fucking do? Like so there's usually two directions that you can go with this, right? There's either we need more police, more law enforcement, which historically has not helped. Surprisingly enough. Dorothea Sheeta, thank you very much for continuing to be a member. She says I just can't stand her. I used to watch them. I understand. It's brutal. So either one of two ways is usually where people go. Thank you again. Is either we need more law enforcement, which doesn't help, and sometimes people will talk about the defund the police movement, which never really happened. And then the other one, which is actually a more lefty position, which is to improve material conditions in society so that there is less homelessness, less reason for crime, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I have a feeling that that is not what Anna's talking about, and it really does feel that it personally affected me, and so I'm going to change my politics because it personally affected me. Like, and that's not a statement of values. That instead is pure selfishness and vapid.
Me questioning everything and wanting to like look deeper into everything. And then other things happened. So the misrepresentation of what was happening to Asian Americans. So there would be all these videos of Asian Americans getting sucker punched or hit over the head with, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And the main narrative on the left was, this is anti-Asian hate.
Yeah.
But actually, if you look at all of those stories individually, it usually involved like a repeat criminal or someone who's just been left on the streets with severe mental health issues. Like people basically carrying out these acts of violence because they don't have their head in the right place, they need help, whatever it is.
Okay, so I don't want to speak too out of turn because I don't remember specifically in the reporting, but I think the reason why people were saying that there was an increase in anti-Asian American sentiment was because the numbers are kind of showing that there was a very, very sharp, dramatic increase in crimes being done, physical, violent crimes being done towards Asian Americans. I'm pretty sure that's why, but I might be wrong. So the thing you have to keep in mind when you're analyzing this type of situation, you have to have a discerning eye to figure out whether or not it's a very specific slant of the media that they see that these are very high profile things and they kind of put it in that category, or whether it is in fact possibly just a wide coincidence. Whether it's media manipulation or whether it is actually a legit increase. I mean, it's possible for either, but I'm not going to trust Anna about it any more than I would blindly trust anybody else either. If you look at the gate crime statistics, Asian hate crime absolutely increased. That's what I thought. It's really easy you can say there's an increase, and if you back it up with really shocking videos, people will generally tend to just agree with it. But if you do have the numbers, the attacks went up sharply after certain bad dye jobs started making racist statements. See, I'm not surprised about that. I'm not surprised about that at all. And it really isn't that far of a leap either. I mean, depending on what was happening, 15, 20 years ago, there was a sharp increase in hate crimes against Muslims or people that even looked Muslim, like a bunch of Sikhs had hate crimes done to them. It's not out of the realm of possibility, and I don't understand why Anna would make it a point to like downplay potential hate crimes. Like, what does that do for you? What's the point of doing that? It's weird.
But like to just brush it off as, oh, it's just anti-Asian hate that's been inspired by the right wing. It just wasn't true.
Yeah.
And, I just thought it was wrong to frame it that way, when in reality, there was a real issue with, repeat offenders. And in some cases, people with severe mental health issues, honestly, randomly targeting all sorts of people. But, since a lot of this was happening in areas like San Francisco, where there's a sizable Asian population, the narrative on the...
I know for a fact it wasn't just in San Francisco. There was quite a lot of it all over the country, not just San Francisco. Dude, I'm sorry. Anna Kasparian sounds like fucking Candace Owens from 2015, 2016. Like, it really is freaking me out how much she sounds like Candace. This is wild to me.
Left became, oh, it's just anti-Asian hate that's been inspired by the right. And I just didn't really see much evidence of that. Then there was the attacks on straight news journalists who were doing their jobs. For instance, when Li Fang was reporting on the BLM protests, when he was accurately reporting on the BLM protests and some of the violence that took place during those protests, his own colleagues at The Intercept tried to paint him as a racist. I've known Li Fang for many, many years, since I started working at TYT.
I'm not as familiar with Li Fang as I used to be. Some other people can speak on that topic more succinctly than I can. So I don't really know.
Doesn't have a racist bone in his body. For them to paint him in that way, I thought was disgusting, and it had a chilling effect, right? The whole point is to intimidate journalists from doing accurate reporting on what's actually occurring on the ground. Then there was what happened to Jesse Singal, which I found disgusting. I didn't know about that until at some point this year. I would say earlier this year.
With the trans stuff? Jesse's been on the show before. Yeah, he's done great.
Jesse Singal is a good faith, I think, critical thinker.
Jesse Singal is, look, there are some people who think Jesse Singal is like an awful human being. And I don't have any, there's nothing that's actually pointing me to thinking that like this person is a virulent hate monger or anything like that. But I think some of Jesse Singal's takes are extremely transphobic. Absolutely. I want to be slightly more charitable than some people and say it's probably born out of ignorance and social pressure. I don't know if there would be a monetary incentive to be pushing that kind of rhetoric or not. I could be wrong. If so, fuck him even more. But Singal's still a shit. He's a shithead. I'm sorry. Like, even if you're not intending to be an asshole and say things that really can hurt people, if you still are, you still have the culpability of what you're saying and what you're doing. It just is what it is.
I'm subscribed to Blocked and Reported. I have listened to endless podcast episodes from Blocked and Reported.
Oh, yeah, there was a spree shooter who was targeting Asian massage parlors during that time in the Atlanta area. Yep. I remember that one, too. Yep.
I haven't seen anything from Jesse Singal that communicates to me that he is a transphobe, that he is a bad person. He did straight news reporting on basically what, some of the risks could be when it comes to transitioning literal kids with puberty blockers and then cross-sex hormones. And through his reporting, which I'm very sad to say I didn't really come across until this year, I learned that I was wrong about a bunch of other things, right? So, for instance, it is a lie that puberty blockers are reversible.
No, puberty blockers are reversible. But the thing that you have to keep in mind is that there are risks with any kind of medication. And what the answer to this is not to discuss this with two enlightened centrist dorks with Anna Kasparian, a news personality. It's to talk about it with your doctor. Like, it's so weird.
In some cases, they are not, and they can cause irreparable harm. And look, you might think, okay, but you got to do a balancing act. And if a child or if a teenager has severe gender dysphoria, and it would actually be better for that person to go on puberty blocks. Okay, I mean, we should be able to balance that out. But my point here...
But that's not how Jesse Singal reports things, though. That's the problem. If you frame something in a horrible, horrible light, and then at the tail end you put a little bit of a hook on it, like, I mean, maybe. That is not that's not an equivalence, okay? You're still making it sound fucking awful. And then, well, okay, but maybe. Dude, anybody with half a brain cell can, like, see right through that. It's so bullshit.
Is withholding the information because you don't like the information getting out there ain't the way to go, because that destroys any opportunity for us to actually have a good faith debate about what we should do moving forward.
Okay, again, and this is really, look, okay, I need to really drill this home, okay? Number one, nothing is being hidden. Everything is open. You can understand any of this. You can study the entire situation. I know what it's like when you don't know, because I used to say shit because I wasn't very well informed, and then I learned, and then I stopped saying those fucking things. But having a good conversation and debating it, this has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with me. I don't know who the fuck Sitch actually is, but Adam is not transitioning. Anna Kasparian is not fucking transitioning. I am not transitioning. We don't need to be in that debate. Why would we be in that debate? Why do you have to be such a main character on the fucking internet that you need to debate everything? Fuck off. Do you know who should be talking about this and discussing it and making policy? Doctors, scientists, I suppose people from the government. Hopefully they're well informed enough or will actually listen to specialists. Those are the people who debate this. But having just these conversations, you're trying to put it as a point that you have some sort of authority or some weight in this conversation, and you don't. What you do have is a blunt hammer, which is your alternative media site in which you can influence other people's impressions of it. And the vast majority of those people are not going to be trans either. They won't have any trans siblings or children. They're not going to have anything to do with trans people at all. But what you can do is poison the minds to hate. And that's what people like Jesse Singal do. And that's what people like Anna Kasparian are starting to do. But when you think you are so fucking self-important that you should be the one to debate this, you have lost the fucking plot. It's so weird to me. Ugh. I think every YouTuber is some form of egomaniac, at least a little. Yeah. No, I know a lot of them. For sure. Yeah, dude, Michael Brooks, he would fucking demolish this Anna Kasparian.
What are the pros and cons? So there's that, all of this stuff.
No, this stuff hasn't always been on my main channel. I accidentally started streaming this morning again on my main channel instead of my second channel.
Whoopsie.
Sorry about that. It'll be unlisted after I'm done streaming. It's not going to stay up here on the main channel. So, it is what it is. My bad, guys.
It started adding up. And through listening to Blocked and Reported, I found out I got a lot of stories wrong as well. Rebecca Jones ended up being a liar and a grifter. And I wouldn't have known that. Had I not opened my mind up to other voices.
Rebecca Jones was the one that went after DeSantis, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And she's a complete liar. And we uplifted her, we enabled her, and I feel disgusting that we did that. So I issued a retraction and a correction on that story. I don't know what the reaction was.
My reaction was good.
Yeah.
What is some of the reaction? Like one of the problems that we
Okay, I don't even know what exactly this is. Claims she was fired for refusing to manipulate state COVID-19 data while working in Florida. And then her son threatened to shoot up a school. Okay. Yeah, dude, look, I'm gonna be brutally honest. It's just a Florida man story, okay? It's a Florida man story. It's absolutely bizarre. The fact that TYT decided to run this story, because the thing is, I remember this coming out like after the fact. I never saw any stories holding up this Rebecca Jones person claiming this whistleblowing stuff on DeSantis and blah. I never saw it until it was disproven. But apparently the Young Turks ran the story and just went apeshit with like, yeah, this is what's happening, blah, 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 blah. And they got it wrong. Probably because they didn't do their due diligence because they're a shit news network. But like, it's weird. It's so weird.
Often have, obviously we're labeled right wingers all the time. Anyone who watches our show,
you are right.
Knows we're pretty much like disaffected liberals.
No.
Like,
you are 100% right wingers, Adam. You are a fucking right winger. Absolutely. Now you might hold a lot of centrist, center right, maybe dipping your toes into center left policy ideas. Sure, suppose so. But socially, like you are 100% on the right side of the line there, buddy. 100%. I'm sorry.
Really?
To call us right wing is just, I mean, it's kind of laughable. But we are constantly called right wingers
because you are right wingers.
Just because we don't straw man the arguments that are made on the right. And
bullshit, you don't. Adam, you straw man so much shit on Twitter. It's amazing. And I fucking call you out for it. And then like a fucking coward, you always run from it. Every single fucking time, man. It's so ridiculous. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Like, I swear to God. Whatever, man. You're a right winger. Just fucking own it. Everybody else can own it. Your audience knows already. They're not going to fucking care. You're just going to still say the same shit that you're saying now, and they're going to be happy about it. You just won't have to keep, gassing people up with a bunch of bullshit. Just be honest about it. Come on.
So many people on the left, all they are familiar with is the straw man version of the trans issue or some particular news story. So what is some of the reaction that you have gotten to that?
Well, I mean, the reaction has not been great. I mean, look, that leftist mafia stream was unbelievable to me. Like the accusations that were thrown out there, Olay implying that I'm racist because as a woman, I don't want to be called a birthing person. Like that has
nobody is ever going to call you a birthing person, and I don't know why anybody would call you racist for that. That's a really fucking dumb thing for somebody to say. If somebody is actually trying to call you racist for that, that person's a fucking idiot. So that's fine. But yeah, nobody's trying to call you a birthing person, Anna. Unclench thy pearls, all right?
I mean, race didn't come up at all until she brought it up. And then she was the only one on that stream who brought race into it and like made it abundantly clear that she's got an issue with white women and just thinks they're all the same and like, whatever. and then after I basically called her out on it, she's like, "Oh, you're attacking me and only me because I'm black." And it's like, no, you're the only one in that group of people.
Yeah. I think I kind of remember some of this happening, but I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago. And I guess Anna is still extremely fucking ass mad about it. Okay, whatever. It's fine. I'm not going to tell her what not to get mad about, so you have fun.
Who attacked me and accused me of being racist because I personally want to be called a woman.
I'm a conservative, but I like you, Jeff. Dude, there's nothing wrong. See, the thing you have to understand, what you have to understand is that most people get along. They really do. The internet, online, all of this is not real. None of this is real. This motherfucker's not real. That motherfucker's not real. She's not real. None of this is real. All of this is performative nonsense to try and get people to move their brains in a certain way about certain topics. Okay? I've talked to many, many people, right-wingers and conservatives. They don't fucking hate trans people. They have no problem with gay marriage. They want everybody to be happy. And usually they're just kind of like, like, some things make me uncomfortable, and I just would really rather it not impact me or my family or whatever. A lot of it is that they don't want to be inconvenienced enough to really examine their feelings. But it's not because they're bad people. It's because they have other shit to worry about, and that's the truth of the matter. And what it really comes down to is if we had, I'm cool with debate. I'm cool with people talking about things, but I do want people to be honest. And I don't think any of the 3 people in this fucking stream are honest. I don't. I literally don't. I do not think they are honest actors at all because they're on the fucking internet. Okay? Like you shouldn't trust me either. Don't trust me. You don't know me. You don't know who the fuck I am. It's so there's nothing surprises me about conservatives liking me or right-wingers liking me or whatever. It's totally fine as long as we can just try and strive to be honest about it. And I don't like that they are not. That's my problem.
Yummy.
I make one little dick hickey joke, playful face.
Yep, you're the one that crashed the stream. Yep, that's all you. All right, let's keep going.
You guys remember at some point last year, everyone was going after Rogan for saying the N-word. And so someone on the left had made a compilation video of all the times he had said the N-word on his podcast. And then in response to that, someone on the right made a compilation of all the times like I had said the N-word, right? Or me and Cenk had said so someone on the right made that video. And we had a company meeting, the producers, everyone, we got together, and this is like years and years ago. The last time we actually uttered that word on air was in 2012. But we sat down and we talked about whether we should actually say the word when we're quoting someone that we are condemning as racist, or should we sanitize it and say N-word instead? And so we had a vote, and we decided at the time that it was better to actually read the quotes verbatim as opposed to sanitizing it. And I knew it would eventually come back to bite me in the ass. And it did. And I'm not going to apologize for it, because context matters, intention matters. And what people like Olay are trying to do is erase all of that, right? To make it seem as though intention is totally irrelevant, context is totally irrelevant. If she says someone's racist, then by definition, that person is racist, end of story, period. And I just disagree. I also disagree with racism of all sorts, right? So I find it disgusting when people make generalizations.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the problem. Yeah, Rogan's dropped the N-bomb before, sure. I mean, lots of people have. The thing is, if somebody has the opinion that saying that word is an inherently racist act, it is their opinion, like, and if that's how she feels, that's how she feels, is what it is. You can, whether or not you or anybody else out there thinks that there is an appropriate time where you can just say the word, and it's you're acting in good faith. You're not trying to be racist by saying it. You can go ahead and do that. But the problem with it is the problem is when you are not even just a media personality, even when you're just out in public as a private citizen, just doing whatever it is that you do, people will respond to the things that you say. And if society itself has a visceral and extreme reaction to a word, whether you think that that's appropriate or not is irrelevant, because they're going to respond how they respond. Society has an organic flow to it in how we accept or do not accept certain things. You can argue against it all you want, sure, but this is America, and you can say it. You can say it all you want. People will respond how they want. You use your free speech, they use theirs. Like, the thing is, like, this comes across as so disingenuous, because she's like, yeah, I dropped the hard R, I did, but people are making me feel bad about it. Like, well, and if you don't think they have a case, then just fucking ignore them. Then just ignore them. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just fucking ignore them, and then you're fine.
About Black people or migrants or any group, why would I somehow be okay making generalizations about white women or white people, right? So I find it gross and divisive. And look, at the center of all of this is I've been doing this shit for like 17 years, and things have gotten worse. And I just don't think whatever strategy the left thinks they're engaging in is an effective strategy. I think it's actually caused more harm than good.
Wait. See, when the left all gets together and we have our action meetings, she doesn't like the conclusions that we've been coming to. You know what's weird too is, like, we're not talking about the left right now. We're not. Like, people being upsetty spaghetti about someone like Anna dropping the hard R, like, we're talking about society. We're talking about, like, just people. These are just people. I mean, like, to frame it in this way is kind of making it sound like, well, normal people wouldn't care if I dropped the N-bomb. Like, what? Of course they would. Of course they would. It makes people feel uncomfortable. And if you're okay with, like, accepting the fact that people are going to feel that way, then just fucking say it. Just fucking say it. But don't whine about it. Like, it's so dumb.
think their rhetoric and their discourse is a lot of times ignorant of the facts. And I think that they go around accusing people of doing things that they themselves engage in. And I was part of that too. I'm trying to do better moving forward. But a lot of people are going to look at this and think, oh, well, then that means she's a right winger. Whatever. You can call me whatever you want. I don't care what you label me as. But
just not birthing person.
Don't call me a birthing person.
See, I'll give Adam that one. That was a good one. I don't really care if people want to call me a right winger. Of course you don't. Of course you don't. Because there's a lot of money if people think that you're sneaking it in there. But heaven forbid anybody and nobody ever has call her a birthing person. Do you see how like self-important this is? Like how amazingly self-centered this entire mentality is. It's so crazy.
Person with the uterus. Yeah, exactly.
I don't blame you at all. So
yeah. I don't know. I don't know what my labels are at this point because I don't fit in anywhere. I feel like
you feel like you're becoming politically homeless, maybe a little bit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
What do you think?
Politically homeless is another it's just another code word for I'm starting to lean center right because of grievance politics. You know, that's all it is. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as classical liberalism, centrist skeptic. Like it's the same goddamn thing.
What do you think's causing sort of this shift in the left and in media? Or, I mean, first of all, I'm assuming you think there is a shift that's happening in the left and in media.
There is no shift.
It's funny because, a lot of them LARP is like anti-capitalist, like revolutionaries or whatever.
LARP. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's true. And so it's really funny because what they do is they are positioning themselves to attract a very specific niche in audiences, right? So they're going for the purists, the people who like to think of themselves as like far left, communist, socialist, whatever. But like the whole thing is, I mean, you can see it in the various streams. Like they'll talk about things through the lens of we're the most pure, like we're the most sincere in what we're saying.
Who is
whatever.
she talking about? Is this entire thing because she beefed with a bunch of like lefty content creators, and that's why she's like totally changing her entire political perspective? Is it because is she getting bullied into right-wing politics? Is that what's happening right now? Because if people being a little bit mean to you makes you change your convictions that you've held broadly about people and rights and acceptance, then you had no real convictions to begin with. Not really. I'm sorry, but that's just how it goes. You can change. People change all the time. People go left, people go right. It is what it is. But if your explanation for it is people were mean to me and now I feel differently about politics, that is insanely selfish and stupid and weak. So, yeah, no, sorry, I have no respect for that.
Yeah.
Exactly, we're the real left. So when they do that, what ends up happening is they become more and more extreme in what they are saying, right? In what they claim to believe. And at the heart of that, like what they're actually doing is trying to attract a niche audience for what? To make money. I think there's a financial motive behind it. They're competing.
Yes, famously the huge amount of money in left-wing politics. What? What?
Competing with one another for a particular niche, a particular ideology that's reflected in these audiences. And I think I'm probably self-sabotaging right now, career-wise. But I don't know. I just the problem is once you see certain things, you can't unsee them. And I can't.
Have you been red-pilled, Anna? Have you been red-pilled? I think this is going to backfire big time. The audience that she's trying to appeal to remembers years of her being on TYT. No, they won't care. They won't care. No. They absolutely won't care. They won't give a shit. because Anna comes with a certain degree of political weight, and if you have a big name on the left, like start to switch over into the right, that is very politically helpful. Huge. It is huge for them. They love it.
I can't just lie. I can't do it with a straight face. It's just not who I am.
What do you mean? Are you talking self-sabotaging by talking to us or talking about these things in general? Because I like it's an interesting dynamic that we have here on the internet, because I do agree with you, and we've talked about this on the show many times. Like, the incendiary voices in the political space are the ones that get attention, blow their channels up, get views, become rich, basically.
Yeah.
Conflict entrepreneurs is what I always call them.
Conflict entrepreneurs. Interesting. Okay, sure. At the very least, I will. This is another thing. I'll give another good bonus to Sid and Adam. I would not categorize them in the same avenue as like Anna or Candace or like Sargon of Akkad or any of that kind of shit, because those people are like paranoia pornographers. Much better name, by the way. Much better names. Instead, I would consider them political parasites. I think that's a little bit better. They're like lampreys, It's that's pretty much what I think that's a lot more accurate for sure.
And we're in a kind of a, we are in the same kind of position that you've kind of come to. Like, we want to give an honest, a fair assessment of both sides of the argument and try to kind of.
No, you don't. No, you fucking don't, Adam. You lying piece of shit. You liar.
Come to some sort of truth. And one of the paths that I think we've kind of fell into is just, I think us, Sitch and I, arguing points makes it interesting enough that we can kind of build an audience. And watching the videos of you last week, it kind of feels like that's kind of the direction you're going. It seems like Jank is saying over the top things.
Oh, I know Sargon was in the chat. Yeah. He's buddies with them.
And you're reeling him in, which is, I got to tell you, when I'm watching your show, I'm going, oh, look, Anna is just like Sitch. She won't let Jank have any fun.
Are you saying you're the one saying over the top things?
Look, constantly. And Sitch is like no, Adam, that we don't know that yet. So, but I think our audience understands that there's a little bit of a dynamic going there. That's fun, but at the same time, they are getting the information. So, unfortunately for my reputation, it's like, don't listen to Adam. He's always.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, again, credit to Jank, because he's not like one of these like people who get super offended if you correct him right there on the spot. It's just
California is one of the largest economies in the world, so I'd have thought there would be a lot of money on left-wing politics. There is not. There's definitely not. So you have to understand. This is absolute drivel, I know, but it goes places, which is why we're watching it. So. Can't wait for me to live stream the Clandis Owens and Anna Kasparian joint InfoWars show in a year's time. Yeah, for sure. You have to understand that the political landscape here in the United States is very strange. Very, very strange. It's very different from everywhere else in the world. The vast majority of our politicians, especially in Washington, D.C., are center-right. If the Democrats drift slightly into the left territory, it's not a lot of them. There are very few of them that actually hold on to like even moderate left-wing values. Yet we're perpetually lambasted with this idea that there is like radical leftist communist Marxist agenda, blah blah blah. And people who call Joe Biden, the author of the crime bill, a radical leftist communist, Marxist, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. I would say that, there are some media outlets out there that do cater to some degree of left-leaning political ideology. MSNBC is a bit left. A bit. That's probably the closest you're really going to get to any money in it. But the difference is, especially on YouTube, There are corporations, huge corporations, that are on the right that hemorrhage money into smaller creators and in making media empires. The Daily Wire alone is Steven Crowder and all these people that make super, super huge amounts of money. There is no fucking analog for the left. There is none. Nothing fucking compares. It doesn't even fucking come close. There's nothing. Nothing. When I bring that up, often people will be like, well, the Young Turks, that's an analog. And I'm like, nah, no, not really. Young Turks are barely left-leaning. They're like neoliberal kind of stuff. And that's one. Can you name me another? You know? Tell me. You know? It's crazy.
Kind of went along with some of the more hyperbolic commentary.
Yes, I would say MSNBC is a bit left. I wouldn't, in no way, shape, or form would I say MSNBC is solidly left, because they still push very, very center-left, mediocre, like left-leaning politics. And to be honest, I would rather none of my news organizations push anything. I would really rather the fairness doctrine was back in place and we had some degree of accountability in news media for sticking to factual evidence and like that, and that being how we disseminate information. I would rather it be that in a heartbeat, but we don't have that. We have sensationalist entertainment news. That's what we fucking get.
Mostly because I was reading the same sources and I had the same, you know, I think he's doing better and better. Like we have a lot of conversations about a lot of these issues privately, and I'll just be like, look. Yeah,
so Sitch does the same thing to me.
Yeah. And I'll just be like, look. I mean, before he was gonna go, he asked me if I thought it was a good idea that he was gonna go debate Destiny, and I said no. And it's mostly because I see a lot of clickbaity stuff going on in that realm too, like with some
AP and Reuters will give you that. Yeah, so I will agree that AP and Reuters are probably pretty close to as fact based as you can possibly get right now. Yeah. But it's really, really hard to, and the right will call the Associated Press and Reuters far left, extreme left, radical left kind of shit. It's really strange. Yeah. It's really crazy. American news is shocking. It's insane. It's insane for people who don't live here to really get the experience of how our news media works. Really freaks them out. It's bizarre. Yeah, I don't know. It's strange. What is left? Here's the really easiest way I'm able to describe the difference between left and right wing ideology. Okay, the left identifies that there are problems in society and wants to solve those problems. They're solely focused on progressive ideas, and progressive literally means just improving the human condition. That's it. Here are problems in society. We need to fix them. We need to go forward. Right-wing, generally conservative-leaning ideology is things were better before, and we need to go back to those things. We need to preserve traditions, and it really doesn't address like actual problems in the here and now unless those problems are the result of progress. So that's usually how it goes. One is going one way, one is going the other way. The left goes forward, the right goes back. That's the easiest way to consider it.
With the debate stuff that takes place, but also I asked him, like, what are you guys going to debate? So first he said, oh, we're going to talk about like the Democratic Party and our disagreements about it. I was fine with that, but then he mentioned, he's like, and then we're going to talk about Rittenhouse. And you probably,
so he knew Rittenhouse was going to come up.
Yeah. I think they agreed on the topics ahead of time.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And you know, we had a look. Jake is his own man. The best I can do is share my perspective. And I just told him, I was like, but he was acting in self-defense. And he's like, but look, Cenk just has a different perspective. It is what it is. Like, I'm not here to talk shit about Cenk. You
Of
know,
course.
like we and again, I want to give him credit because we can have the conversation on air, this exact conversation, and he's gonna say the exact same thing. I'm gonna say my piece, and it's not gonna lead to like an uncomfortable relationship with him. It's not gonna lead to retaliation. And I really commend him for having an open mind.
Jeff, the USA left is the global center right, and your right is far right and fascist. How did you fuck it up so hard? It wasn't me, dude. It wasn't me. You know what? You know what it is, though. I mean, we're seeing a symptom of it right now. The very clear and intentional muddling up of political ideology that has taken place in this country, especially over the past 20 years, has been incredibly effective. Like wildly effective. And it's all been specifically from the right wing. They are very good at this. Very, very, very good. They have basically gaslit the entire country into thinking that very simple concepts that most of the rest of the Western world are like, yeah, okay, we're cool with that, is like fringe radical far left communist shit. They've wildly done that. And as they do that, it makes people feel like if they have more right-leaning persuasive ideas, that they're really not that far into the extreme. And it's gotten bad, dude. Really, really bad. It's so crazy. And that's one of the reasons why, like, I always tell people, like, you can't get so terminally online that you get sucked in this shit forever. Because the truth is, the most powerful thing you as a singular person can do is just talk with your friends and family, have bold conversations, and be careful and mindful in when you talk about it and appeal to the basic fundamental goodness in people. Because I do think people are fundamentally good. I do. I had a conversation recently with somebody who was very conservative, very right-leaning, and very afraid of trans people. And by the end of a conversation, about an hour and a half, they had changed their mind. They were still, loved Christ. They were still all about traditional families, and they still probably were going to be pretty uncomfortable around trans people, but they started to understand. That is the power of having an actual real conversation with somebody face to face out in the world. We make more of more damage towards people that want to spread hate just simply by being willing to have a simple conversation and appeal to people's each individual sense of humanity. It's very powerful. Very, very powerful. In the meantime, we're still going to have shit poisoning our society in the form of internet dog shit political content, but it is what it is.
But to him, he just disagrees about it being self-defense. He thinks like he
Oh my
to,
God,
like,
who
shoot
gives
the
a
gun. He
fuck
didn't kill
about this?
people. I hear
I
you.
swear to God.
I wish it didn't end that way.
I don't know why anybody
But if I were in
cares.
his shoes,
Yeah.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah. I
know?
probably would have prayed and sprayed. So, I mean, Rittenhouse did the right thing. Like, it's a good thing he was in control of the weapon instead of me. So,
That's quite a self-report, Adam. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's funny that, like, yeah, this gets thrown around a lot. Like, people accuse you of grifting or other people of grifting when they start changing their beliefs, even though it's like they're changing their beliefs.
Late to the Jeff party. Still happy to be to the Jeff party. Also fuck her and thank you for covering this.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to talk about it because it was really pissing me off, I think it's really sad how often this happens, and it's surprising that it's Anna, but it's also not surprising that it's Anna because Anna has always been a self-centered person. So, this is personally aggrieving her, and this is where we're going. Yeah. Yep.
In a way that would like be more likely.
Oh, no. The rise of conservative talk radio did a lot to radicalize Republicans. Absolutely. Okay, and we can blame Rush Limbaugh for this. No joke. This isn't like I'm not being funny. Rush Limbaugh revolutionized outrage politics. He basically created it. There were some people who were doing it before, but nobody was more successful than Rush. And Rush made it mainstream. Rush is one of the most, I think, history, when we really look back on things, I think Rush Limbaugh will be remembered as one of the most influential political figures for a few decades, and for the untold amount of damage he did to public discourse when it comes to politics. It's insane. Absolutely nuts how much Rush Limbaugh by himself fucked us all up. It is really bad. It's crazy.
To hurt your career as opposed to help it.
I know.
Yeah, it's like insane because you know what so many people on the internet want is they just want you to choose one side very comfortably and to like fit into it and to just say like these are the hyperbolic talking points. And then if you're like, well, let's add some nuance here, which pisses off your audience more often than not, you're like, well, you're a grifter. Like, well, who am I grifting to exactly?
So I'm going to stick up for my audience a little bit because to their credit, I think the majority of people in the audience are open-minded and are open to new information. I think that there is a small but very loud minority in our audience and on the left in general that really give the left a bad name. I think they're overrepresented on Twitter.
Yeah, and when you shine a big giant magnifying lens on it and make it seem like it's everybody. You know, people have done that about a lot of whole other different types of groups of people. You know, there's a reason why when you see a political commentator take something that is very, very small, very isolated, and they blow it up, and people then start to attribute the whole rest of that group as that, why some people think that that's kind of a racist tactic, because that is a tactic that was employed in very troubling racist times. Now, I don't think it's racist, but I can accept where that tactic comes from, and I do think it's hugely dishonest, and I do think it's very common, and I think Anna does it too. I got a sneaking suspicion she's going to do it.
And they're children. They act like children. I think some of them literally are, like minors, and they see everything. And look, if they're young, I don't blame them. I think when you are young, it's a little more difficult to grasp nuance and how complicated and complex a lot of these issues are. You know, one of the things that Jesse Singles says all the time that I love, and he says it repeatedly, is it's complicated, because it is. Like, all of these issues are way more complicated than the way they're being portrayed in partisan media. And so,
like how people are allegedly calling you a birthing person, even though nobody called you a birthing person, like that? Is it like that, Anna?
what I want to do is actually understand those complexities. But here's the other thing. Understand the other side in good faith, okay? Because I think that there are some stereotypes that the left has kind of bought into about what the arguments are on the other side.
Oh, yeah?
And
like what?
You know, it doesn't make us sharper to misrepresent what the other side is actually saying. It actually makes us weaker. If you understand what their arguments are, it'll then allow you to reflect on what your own weaknesses might be in regard to the arguments that you're making. And so, and then one other thing, and this was an unexpected outcome that I was talking to my husband about just last night. I've been a lot happier lately, like a lot happier. And I think it's because once you actually, and look, I want to make the distinction and like draw out a caveat. I'm not talking about.
I love this in the chat in the stream. There's a guy that says she went crazy about Rubin, Tulsi, and Jimmy for doing what she's doing. True. Very true. Very, very true.
Like far right, like militia members. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about just mainstream conservatives, Republicans, whatever. Once you actually understand what their arguments are or where they're coming from, it's a lot more difficult to be hyperbolic about things, right? Yeah. And so,
but that's kind of the problem, is we're not talking about people. We're not talking about conservative people. We're not talking about right-wing people. We're talking about right-wing politics, conservative politics. Like, because again, recently they were doing some polling and they found that despite the fact that right-wing politicians are pushing anti-gay agendas, their constituents, people who are conservative, people who are right-leaning, are not anti-gay. In fact, the majority of them are accepting of gay people, and they want gay people to have the same rights as them. Like, we're not talking about the people. We're talking about the politics and the people that push the politics. That's what we're talking about. Like, it's really not that hard to get it.
You kind of start seeing the world around you for what it really is. And there's a certain amount of fear that kind of starts to dissipate, a certain amount of like hyperbolic thinking that starts to go away. And you start to see things a lot more clearly. And the world isn't as messed up as people would have you believe.
It
That's a
is.
good thing. Now, some
Yeah.
people might get super offended at me saying that because they've completely bought into the hyperbolic thinking and they think the world's coming to an end.
No, the world's not coming to an end, which is probably even more sad. But no, like things are bad. Things are bad. They have gotten bad. You know, it's still better than it was 40 years ago, sure. But like when we start to feel ourselves backsliding, an appropriate response is, whoa, 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 what the fuck's going on? Like that's totally normal.
And there are terrible things happening. I don't want to minimize that, but
Right.
we need to be realistic about what's actually transpiring in the country. And for areas where we need improvement or different policy solutions, we should actually have good faith debates about it and come up with those solutions. And I think that the current discourse is standing in the way of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's really fascinating. I never thought about that but it makes perfect sense if, people go into politics when they have this very like, the other side is either composed of like all racists who want to enable, some kind of fascistic regime against me,
Right.
or like
Yeah.
the other side is all made of like, communists who want to take over the country. Like it's going to put you in this headspace. You're like, oh my God, like I'm in this fight for my life. Like this is like the most important thing ever.
Yeah, sure. You're describing being poisoned by bad media, Yeah. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Talk to your co-host about that sometime.
And then you're like, well, once you start to see like, well, yeah, there's small pockets of that exist, but the average person is not that. You're like, oh my God, this weight has been lifted from my shoulder. I don't feel like the world is about to end.
Yeah, totally.
I want to say two things. First of all, and I don't know your take on Jordan Peterson, but it is like
Here we
the
go.
first rule is tell the truth. And I feel like coming to a place in your life where you're like, I feel like I'm honestly telling the truth now, I can see where that would make me feel completely better. I'm one of these people who just hates thinking I'm being dishonest, or if I'm in a position where I'm forced to be dishonest.
You willingly and knowingly employ dishonest tactics all the time, Adam. You lying asshole.
For a job or something like that.
Mhm.
I just, it's horrifying for me. So, and I do think it
Gosh.
is kind of
It must really hurt when you find that out. Gosh. Jesus Christ, Adam. What the fuck?
politically expedient for a lot of people to categorize far right, racist, Nazi pieces of shit who, none of us are in favor of.
Not good.
For moderate Republicans who just want some, they have a different spin on some sort of policy prescription, which my thinking of the world is, you've got the conservatives on the right who are kind of playing defense for society, and you have liberals and progressives on the right who are or on the left who are kind of playing offense for society. They're the ones that are pitching all of these crazy policies for making society better.
Yeah.
And conservatives are kind of saying, well, we're kind of good where we are now. Should we take the risk of doing this?
That's okay, that's how metaphysically it's supposed to happen, sure. But the problem is the things that we're talking about these days when it comes to right-wing politics are some of the things that people like DeSantis are trying to do, which is authoritarianism, which is crazy, which is absolutely out there. We're talking about people trying to walk back human rights. It isn't that they're fighting against the new stuff. We're basically at a battle right now to maintain and keep what we have already had, and they're getting stripped from us in certain states. You can't just reduce that down to, well, we're just trying to say, hey guys, chill out, take a breather, okay? Don't go so crazy, okay? That's not what's happening. It's, man, how dishonest, how gross.
And you really need, what sports team that doesn't have a good offense and a good defense is going to be a winning team? So a lot of the political polarization I see as part of the problem here. And one of the nice things about you starting to realize, there are people on the right that aren't just crazy, insane racists. And maybe you can...
Really? There aren't? Wow, that's great. Yeah, nobody thinks that there is. Sure, there is some, there are kids, okay? There are some shitty, judgmental kids who don't know any better, and they're terminally online, and they make wild claims like all conservatives and all right wingers, blah 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 blah. And you know what? Fuck those kids. Okay, that's stupid. That's dumb. But like right now, as they're broadly talking about this, they're really not making any specific condemnations to specific people. It is a broad declaration towards the left. Jeff, in your opinion, do Sitch and or Adam act in bad faith? Adam is 100% a bad faith actor. Adam is a right winger in every way that actually counts and fucking matters. He's a right winger and he's a liar. Yeah. Sitch is complicit in it and dabbles in it himself, which is very disappointing because I actually really liked Sitch for a long time. But I have run out of charity and charitability for Sitch. So no, I don't trust either of them at all. I think they are 100% in bad faith. Puppet on Strings, thank you very much for becoming a member. Appreciate you.
Communicate their arguments clearly to your audience, which is a great position to be in. We might be able to deal with some of the political polarization.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are, look, I disagree with many of the policy ideas they have or the perspectives they espouse, but there are good faith, thoughtful, conservative Republicans out there. Like, I think Glenn Loury is a good example. You know, again, I might not agree with everything he has to say, but he's a thoughtful person, and he is not in any way justifying, you know, white supremacy or some of the like hyperbolic things that he might get accused of by those on the left. And again, it's really about understanding in good faith the other side and being able to, I guess, debate the issues as opposed to like what I see happening right now is I want the left to engage in the argument as opposed to what I see happening, which is them engaging in like ad hominem in a lot of cases, character assassination or like statements about the individual's character based on their preconceived notions and based on what they heard other streamers say about the individual.
Anna. It has been like this since the internet was invented. It has always been like this. It is not only on the left either. It's on the right just as much. I swear to God, this is so dishonest. Everybody fucking does this. Everybody does this. Constantly. There's nothing different going on right now. I don't understand how anybody can listen to this and hear the same regurgitated talking points. I mean, look, Anna Kasparian right now is full-blown 2016 mode, okay? She's going 2016 politics, grievance politics, bordering on oppression Olympics at this fucking point, okay? Talking to a couple of dudes who politically are still using the same rhetoric and tactics as 2016 politics. This is so old. This is so old and tired. And that it still works at all is just a testament to how, I don't know, poisonous and irritating this kind of mentality is. It's dog shit. Okay, so right now she's phrased it as this is a problem on the left. This is what I want the left to do. Now, we'll see if she's practiced enough that she's then going to get a little hook that like, well, the right does it too. But again, it's the degree of weight by which one is getting the condemnation the most really tells you about people's motivations.
It's like, okay, just take a step back for a second. You need to address the point that this person is making. And if you're not addressing the point that this person is making, and instead you're turning around and throwing all sorts of like accusations at them to make them seem like they're immoral or they're bad people, then that tells me that you don't really have an answer to what they're saying, you know? And I see that happening more when it comes to culture war related issues.
This is fucking stupid too. This is this is like an anti-vaxxer technique, okay? The whole thing of like, somebody comes out and they says vaccines cause autism, and you're like, shut the fuck up. Oh, you can't debate me on this? You can't bring forward your A game on? Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. And by dismissing somebody who is saying something that is demonstrably wrong or fucked up is not you acquiescing to their argument as in, the big brain debates are the best way we make decisions for society. Like that's ever fucking happened. You fucking literal children. What the fuck? Wake the fuck up. No, like it's, you do not have to engage with any argument you don't want to. Debate does not fix society. Debate in the form of these types of debates and the way that they're fucking talking about this right now doesn't help. It's not real debate. It's not. It's hyperbolic arguing. And it always leads to dishonest tactics because it's not done in the form of like, well, we're actually trying to objectively reach a truth or whatever. You're arguing perspectives. You're arguing opinions. You know, it's so dumb. This idea is absolutely bizarre. I don't even know I'm still subscribed to you. Then don't. Fuck off. If you don't like what I'm saying, man, you take your subscription elsewhere. I don't give a fuck. I'm not in this shit to try and, like, maintain some sort of user base. I'm streaming this right now because I'm irritated and I want to vent. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a shit. Unsubscribe from me. I'll kiss my ass. I won't debate you on the best Pokemon because I'm a soy boy. Oh, I'll debate you on it. You're just going to be fucking wrong. It's Paras. Paras is the very best Pokemon. Straight up, dude. Straight up. Yep. See, if there's one simple truth in
Just
the
want
world,
you to know that my son and I have been watching you since before Dr. Phil, and we claimed you to be family. We read Heart Talk.
Aw, I love you. That's so sweet. I really appreciate that. We are Paras supremacists in this chat, okay? Paras supremacists. All other Pokemon are inferior genetically. All hail Paras. All hail Paras. Yep. Anyway, what were we talking about? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. Debate me, bro. Fuck you, dude. Debate me, bro. Soy Pokemon my ass. I'm all about that crustacean life.
as opposed to economic issues. And that's the other thing. I mean, I think.
So show us good faith debate then, Jeff. You moderate and set it up. Oh, you don't want to? Debate who? Why? Like, did you not hear what I just fucking said? Debate is not something that you use to come to a truth about social issues where people have differing opinions. It's all spectacle. I like watching debates, but I'm not going to fucking lie to myself or to anyone else and claim that it has some broader intellectual like value or that it has a deep societal value, because it doesn't.
Cubone is best Pokemon.
Cubone is A tier, not S tier though. A tier. I'll give it A tier for sure. Now I'm just being honest with you here. Like debate is nothing but entertainment. That's it. That's it. Like and to try and blow it up as something more than that is insanely childish and stupid and short-sighted. And you should probably stop because it's very embarrassing for you. And just please sit down. DJ Doped, thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, anyway, let's keep going on this dog shit.
That the left has completely, and they'll deny this, but I mean, just go to Twitter right now. They've like abandoned economic policies.
Oh.
And instead hyper-focused on incredibly divisive, like, identity-related issues.
Really? So the left is the only one that's focused on identity issues. It's not like right now the right wing is so desperate to try and distract from everything else that they're making everything about trans people and groomers and shit like that. You know? Like, it's really the left that's playing the identity politics. And they're the ones that are on the offense right now. Not that they're on the defense trying to defend against things like rights being stripped away. It's not like everything that's coming out of the goddamn mouths of these upper echelon Washington, D.C. elite Republicans, out of these fucking governors' mouths, out of Greg Abbott, out of fucking DeSantis, them shipping, like kidnapping illegal immigrants and things like that. None of this is about about the identity of people or cultural blah, blah. No, none of it. They're talking about the economics. Really is that what's happening, Anna? Really? That's so strange. And it's not like there's nobody on the left that's trying to push for universal health care or housing as a human right or protecting, access to clean water or dealing with environmental issues or trying to deal with, college debt. Nobody on the left is doing that. No, they're not. They've abandoned all of it so they can tell Anna she's a birthing person. You fucking lying piece of shit. You grifter.
For our wedding anniversary, I made a Paris quilt.
Did you really? That's so cool. That's so fucking cool. I love that. Damn.
Omanite, Omastar, fight me.
Omanite, Omastar. I actually, that might be after I stopped paying attention. Oh, yeah. That's the, yeah, that's that guy. Yeah. Super cute. A tier. Paris is still better, though. Where did those people they kidnapped come from? From other countries. And then they were told they were going to go somewhere different. And then they were shipped to somewhere else with no food or water and dumped other places. Yeah, it was fucking kidnapping. Sorry. What else would you call that? And also, before we really get any further, can we just accept the fact that these are human fucking beings? Just, I know they're brown. I know that probably makes you feel a little bit different about it or something, but they're fucking literal human beings, and maybe we shouldn't, ship them all over the place. My humanity doesn't really matter which, border you're in. I don't care who you worship or what you look like, or whether or not you're legal or illegal. I kind of still have the same basic humanity for people. And so making excuses for people doing awful, terrible things to them simply because of the place that they were born is inhuman and fucked up. And honestly kind of makes you an evil person. You should re-examine some of your belief systems. I'm just saying, man. I'm just fucking saying. Did you really just put quotes around people? Did you really just do that? You know what, AJ? Here, I'm going to be honest with you, dude. I want you to unsubscribe right now. Unsubscribe. Click off this fucking thing. You're banned from my fucking channel. Nobody's ever going to see your comments again. And honestly, go fuck yourself, okay? I don't give a fuck. This is my fucking platform. And if you're going to start saying that kind of ignorant-ass shit, you don't get to say it here, because it's mine. Oh, no. I violated your free speech.
Right?
Cocksucker.
Yeah. And their take is always, oh, well, the other side wants us they're racist, that's why. They're transphobic, that's why. And it's like, no, you got to do more than that. So if you're going to refute what they're saying, then actually address the points they're making. And if you're not going to do that, you're going to come out looking incredibly weak and childish.
You probably don't know this, but we talk about MMT and UBI on the stream quite often. And it drives people crazy. I mean, how do you make affordable housing sexy? It's not necessarily a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's surprising because I did a story just last Wednesday on Airbnb crashing.
I watched that vid. Yeah.
Yeah, and that video, I'm kind of shocked. It got 200,000 views. It was not something I expected. I thought it's a dense, statistics-driven, video, but it did well. And I think that there is a hunger for those types of videos and for that type of content. It's not going to go super viral like some hyperbolic, video about a police shooting or about an.
That's just true with this one. The issues that really do legitimately matter usually don't get as much attention. But she's also kind of telling on herself because she was just saying that, they've abandoned this, they've abandoned that, and they're focused on this. And now she's saying, well, people aren't paying as much attention. What the fuck, dude? Come on. This is so lazy. It's lazy fucking grifting.
Alleged Karen, right? But I don't really care. Like I just look, I don't want to be part of the problem. I don't want to add to this toxic discourse that does nothing to improve anyone's life. And I feel like I've been engaging in that, and I feel embarrassed about it. And that's really where I'm coming from. I want to get people healthcare. I want to get people housing. Those are the issues that matter.
That'd be great.
Okay?
Well, in order to do that, you kind of have to work with Republicans, and that's where I think this stereotype of Republicans as evil racists is ultimately not helpful in the end. If you want health care, you can't work with the evil racists to get health care done. You just can't do it.
Well, I mean, it's hilarious.
Who besides children are painting this narrative? Again, all this is just lazy, self-serving, like painting like the left, the huge amorphous left as being, accusing all right-wingers, all conservatives as racist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I can say something hyperbolic that is kind of along the same lines, and it's true. Is that if right now, after all the things that you know about, say, Ron DeSantis, if you were to vote for him, you would be basically complicit in a lot of the silly, like terrible, awful, and downright racist shit that he wants to do. That's a tacit signing of that. That is what it is. And that is hyperbolic, but it is true.
Yummy.
You know what's really sexy? Booking your smear test. Ladies, babies, uterus havers. Remember to book your pap smear to test for HPV.
True.
Heart.
True. Protect thy bits.
Hilarious because, okay, let's put healthcare aside for a second, because here's the other thing. The far left will push ideas that are not popular with the general public.
Like what?
Right?
Yes.
So I think that protecting, marginalized communities, protecting the transgender community is important.
Uh-huh.
However, when you move out of or move far away from making sure that they are not denied housing, making sure that they're not denied healthcare, when you move into like these more fringe areas of there was a story out of the UK this week, blows my mind. There was an LGBTQ group in the UK who suggested that instead of referring to vaginas as vaginas because it might be offensive to transgender men, one of the potential replacements or substitutes could be bonus hole.
Oh, no.
Okay. Let's talk about this, because I've been waiting for this part of the video to show up, okay? This is really where we're going to get into the weeds a little bit. Okay. You have to understand what just fucking happened. Anna is saying that, yes, some of these things on the left that are very important, that people need to pay attention to, yeah, sure, I believe in those types of things. But when you go super far to the left, super far to the left, well, how far? How far, Anna? Well, all the way to the left, to the point in where it's a small, tiny group of LGBT people in England, not even in the United States, in England, tiny group of them, that at one of their meetings, one or some of them, debated the idea of calling a vagina a bonus hole. All that way? Like, has the whole left, has the entire left, all these people, anyone left of center, suddenly are now debating whether or not we're going to call a vagina a bonus hole? Really? All of them? Or is it a tiny group of isolated people in an isolated pocket, an isolated point that at one point in time made this possible concept to talk about? Now, what's even more insane is that she got this story. The only person who reported on this fucking story was Ollie London. Ollie London is a far right-wing disinformation agent. Ollie London is a mentally ill motherfucker who spent like the first part of his adult life getting tons and tons of surgery to become transracial. He wanted to become Korean. And when that didn't work out for him, he then decided that he was going to be a hardcore right-winger and lie 24/7 about everything to desperately try and get more attention, more and more attention, whoever the fuck would have him. So this one person who's already a known disinformation agent, who lies all the fucking time, who is obviously mentally ill and sells out everything he ever believed in, reports on a tiny group in another country that were tossing around an idea to maybe call a vagina a bonus hole. And this is Anna's example of the far left. Well, fuck me. Pump the brakes. We're all done with leftism. You know, all those other things that we were trying to it's all now had the legs cut out from under it because they did that. Not for the record, because one of the biggest left-wing previously political commentators is now out there making this condemnation and poisoning people's minds thinking that this is a problem. Now, that's not what's happening. It was because that tiny little thing that nobody else would have ever heard about, but she put a giant magnifying lens on it. This is the grift. This is the fucking pipeline. This is why Anna Kasparian is starting to sell out. Because this is what she's doing. What do you see all the fucking right-wing people do all the goddamn time? They go and they find the most ridiculous, hyperbolic teenagers on TikTok saying dumb shit, and then they say, see, this is the left. That's what they do. That's what she just did. That's the grift. That is what the purpose is. That's the point. I don't know how to detail this out any more for people, that they can actually see why this happens, how this occurs. This is insane. I swear to fuck. Bonus hole. Jesus. Fart on me out of your bonus hole? You got it, baby. You got it. Jesus, we're only 45 minutes into this piece of shit. We're not watching this whole thing. There's no fucking way. Did you hear that all the trans women want penises to be called gawk now? Gawk? That'd be fucking hilarious. I swear, man. It's so nuts. It's just so fucking nuts. I call my thing the bonus inch. Oof. All right. Yeah. It's one of those things, like when people are like, when they start fear mongering about communists and shit, and I'm like, have you ever met a communist? Like actually met like a real communist? I don't mean like an internet communist, you know, like these tanky dickheads and shit. They're being fucking weird and shit. But like an actual communist. You ever met one? I have. Most communists are like college kids, and they're like holding club at their community college, and you know they're hanging out in like a spare utility room for their club. And there's like a dude, and he's playing like acoustic guitar and shit. And they're talking about revolution. They're fine. Leave them alone. They're fine. Leave them alone. Whatever. You know, some of them organize and they march and they do this and they do that. But like, you know, this agenda, it just doesn't exist, man. If you've ever actually met any of these people, there's no big agenda. I'm sorry. No. It's so funny.
Bonus hole?
Yeah, bonus hole. And listen, people don't like this stuff, okay? They might not be on Twitter talking about how much they dislike this stuff, but
they wouldn't even know it exists if not for you blowing it up, or unless they're listening to Ollie London.
On average, every normie woman I've talked to is like, I can't stand this stuff, right? So what Jake and I recently talked about it. I think we talked about it in the context of, trans athletes or whatever. And it was, hey, we got to be a little more strategic, because if you do this, if you start pushing the mainstream Democratic Party to run their campaigns on these like fringe issues, they might not get reelected, or they might not get elected at all if they're running against a Republican in a district. And the response, and it's the same response we got when we made the same point about the stupid prison abolition movement, is we don't care.
Stupid prison abolition movement. What the fuck? What's stupid about prison abolitionism? What the fuck? Holy shit. Oh, man. All right. Jesus Christ. Yeah, nah, she's gone. I mean, I already knew that Anna wasn't a left. She wasn't lefty. She was just a neo-lib. But like, nah, dude, it's fucking ridiculous.
We don't care. This is the right thing to do. We don't care. And it's like, well, okay, but then you complain about what Republicans are doing in various red states.
In this wild straw man that she's continued to build this entire time. Sure, yeah, sure, whatever. Honestly, I think all of this is main character. I said some stupid shit. Some big name lefty content creators decided to shit all over me. And I still haven't gotten over it because how dare they? Don't they know I'm better than them? Like this is what this is. It's so fucking dumb.
So do you want more Republicans to get elected? And do you want more of these, look, I think that some of these laws that have been passed in various red states, for instance, banning gender affirming care for adults, between the ages of 18 to 25, I think that's wrong. I think adults should be able to make a decision about their own bodies. I do think that there is a worthwhile debate when it comes to, hormone blockers and cross-sex hormones for children.
Yeah, that should be done with doctors, not self-important, empty-headed propagandist shitheads. That'd be great.
And we should have that debate in good faith. But I don't want the pendulum to swing far to the right. I would venture to say the left feels the same way, except I'm not so sure. Because to them, going on Twitter and patting themselves on the back for being the most pure is more important to them than strategy.
Twitter is not real life. Twitter is not real life. What in the fuck, dude?
It's more important to them than actually accomplishing the policies that they claim to want to accomplish. Every time I make that point, they'll be like, oh, but you don't even know. There are people on the ground, activists on the ground, working hard to make this happen.
Yeah, there are.
It's like, I mean, I'm not.
And they're not on Twitter. They are, and they aren't on Twitter. There are lots of people that are trying to make a big difference. Activists out there, groups and organizations really trying to make a fucking difference in the world. And the difference is they're not spending all fucking day on Twitter, or like Anna was doing all last night up until this morning, tweeting a bunch of stupid, ignorant shit. That's the difference. Like, I swear to fucking God, like, how self-important are you? I gotta bring this up again. This morning, she had to delete this tweet. The civil rights movement did not use the same strategies as the trans movement. They didn't barricade speakers they disagreed with in classroom for 3 hours. They persuaded through nonviolence and showing America their humanity. Yeah, famously nonviolent civil rights movement. Right? 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 Like, I don't, this is so fucking crazy.
I see what's happening in the country right now. So you can tell me about, your imaginary on the ground activists making real change happen as we speak, but I'm not buying it. So it is what it is.
Because it doesn't personally affect me, so I don't pay any attention to it. Oh my God. Holy shit.
And they can get as offended as they want. They can get as upset as they want. I don't really care.
Yes, you do care. You're triggered as fuck. You've been triggered for months about this. You've been freaking out and making yourself the main character. It's so crazy to me. Yeah. Respectability politics, for sure. Yeah. What? I would care about, your civil rights if you were just nicer about it. Fuck off. Oh, my God.
Mouthpiece for anyone, any political party, any political group. My obligation is to share the facts of the story with my audience to the best of my ability, and then do good faith analysis on those stories.
Yeah, maybe you should go back to doing that instead of what you're doing now. Illuminati didn't credit Jeff at all in her video on Jillian, and I still believe that is what led to her eventual downfall. Let's just say I played the long game, okay? I had nothing to do with any of that shit. Yeah, it is what it is. Hell, man, even PewDiePie fucking gave me some mad props. PewDiePie.
And if they don't like my analysis, they can make whatever decision they want about whether they support or watch the show. And that's why I say I might be engaging in a little bit of self-sabotage, because I don't know what the outcome of all of this is going to be. There is no big play here. I'm not leaving TYT. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I don't know what the outcome will eventually be.
It's probably going to be a nice big new sponsor for TYT. Yeah. The idea that they don't know what they're doing and that all of this is just happening outside of their control is so wildly dishonest. It is so fucking stupid. Only a brainlet would really be fooled by the idea that TYT are just poor little innocent victims and they don't know what they're doing and that they haven't really thought through exactly which direction they're going to be taking this. Come the fuck on. Come the fuck on. Oh my God, and fucking shoe on head. Many feel the same way, but they can't say it because they use social ostracism as a weapon. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. I swear to fucking God. That's literally every fucking human being on the goddamn planet. That's how every society works on the planet. The only people who point this out as some big huge issue these days are because they're so fucking self-important that they perceive anyone criticizing them as an actual like a wound, you know? Log the fuck off.
Be honest.
I have a kind of contentious take. I'm curious how you feel about it. Where, I look at you called them the small, loud minority on Twitter. That we have this kind of like far left identity obsessed. We don't care about practicality, kind of purity spiraling group people. And the reason I think that this is happening is that for whatever reason, there's been this shift among a lot of young people, especially online, where there's a shift away from the philosophy of liberalism into more of a socialistic philosophy. And do you see that happening from your perception?
I do.
Yeah.
I think that to some extent I subscribe to that. And look, honestly, I'm at a point where I want to be a little more pragmatic because I want to accomplish something. I want to improve people's lives, as much as we possibly can. And when you have a maximalist approach, you're less likely to make that happen and you turn a lot of people off. Because they're in this echo chamber on Twitter, I think they're under the assumption that most Americans agree with them. I think most Americans want a mixed economy. We're currently a mixed economy. I definitely want to socialize healthcare. That's the area that I would say I'm the furthest left.
Sure.
But I don't agree with the nihilism. I never have. I don't agree with burning down our institutions.
I don't really understand how you could call the left nihilistic. It's saying that there are problems and we should fix some problems is pretty anti-nihilism, Pretty anti-nihilistic. And as far as tearing down institutions, it depends on the institution. Does the institution still serve contemporary society? Or is it a holdover from something that doesn't work anymore? You can't argue away from progress by claiming some degree of sacredness because that's really weird. It's really, really weird.
Because they're inherently racist or they're inherently this or that. I think that some institutions could use reform.
Sure.
I was totally on board for reforming policing. I was never once on board. I never once called for abolishing police. And so
yeah, nobody really did either. I mean, there were some loud teenagers saying we need to abolish all the police and whatnot. The concept of being very aggressive about it because you see that there's a real big problem and wanting to draw attention to it with hyperbolic language. Sure. Does that kneecap some of the rhetoric? Yeah, it really does. The left is pretty bad about that sometimes. Defund the police. Is gonna turn a lot of people off, even though no police departments. I think one police department actually got defunded, and it lasted 2 weeks or something like that. It's
the abolish movement I think is insane, and I think the fact that I'm willing to say that has led to a lot of people hating me.
No.
And I don't care.
Nope.
At all.
It's interesting because personally, I'm not in favor. Yeah, I want a public option, but I'm not in favor of economic socialism. But it's interesting to me that
we already have economic socialism. It's just not usually available to the citizenry. That's all there is to it. No
movement. It seems like currently it's kind of like the socialist energy in America right now seems to have drastically shifted away from economic questions entirely. And to just to take that kind of lens and put it on these cultural issues, specifically race.
Yeah. The left was the ones that were doing that, was it? Okay. Sure. I would say that yes, in 2016, there was a big shift towards examining racial inequalities. Yeah, I think so. But that was 7 years ago. And that is not what the left talks about now. In fact, I think overwhelmingly the left these days is talking about economic issues. Absolutely. And playing defense against the right trying to weaponize the culture war. 100%. Like that's a truth. That's a truth, you know? The only way you would ever consider that right now politics from the left is solely focused on race is if you listen to racist right-wing fucking YouTubers. And there's a few of them that are in the chat of this this live stream here. So it'll poison your perspective for sure. But in a broader like analysis of it, no.
And that is very bizarre to me. It's like we just kind of lost, and this came up a lot with the affirmative action Supreme Court ruling just happened, where I understand people criticizing the idea that they don't think a colorblind approach would necessarily bring about, racial equality or whatever. Like, even if I disagree with that, I understand what they're saying. The thing that's kind of frightening to me is people saying that the goal of colorblindness is either not likely, impossible, or not even desirable. And to me, that's a drastic shift. Like, okay.
Well, this is actually kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting right now. So I like that he was talking about how like the left is bringing up like race and everything, and then he talks about how the right-leaning conservative Supreme Court just struck down a decades-old standard of affirmative action. Now, I don't know how he even says this shit with a straight face. I don't know if he has a straight face because he never goes on camera. But no, that's just dog shit first and foremost. Second of all, there are plenty of ways in which to critique affirmative action. All right, I understand, and I don't really care about that conversation as much. I'll let other people debate that. The pros and the cons of it. There's a lot of nuances to it, and there's too much to get into here. But what I think is kind of interesting is him talking about colorblindness, and he doesn't seem to understand the leftist perspective of not wanting to embrace colorblindness because many people do have concerns, and I think that they're valid concerns. That if you embrace a certain type of social colorblindness, where we avoid talking about anything that might have to do with race, you're effectively doing race erasure, which removes the importance of people's culture, their history, where they come from. Why do that? Why do that? Why is it that weird if you're a white guy and you're walking down the street, right, and you see a black guy? If you're trying to be colorblind, you have to aggressively be like, that person is a totally blank slate to me, blah, 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 blah. Or is it totally fine and reasonable to be able to have the concept of, oh, that is a black man. He might have a different lived experience than me because statistically that's how things go. He might have a different culture from me because he can trace his ancestry back to somewhere different. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging people have different races. It's just about your behavior after the fact, and there's some shitheads out there like Black Hebrew Israelites that want all white people to feel bad for slavery. But in reality, anybody who's sane isn't doing that. Like, it's so weird. It's so strange. It just feels like people who push this like idea of colorblindness just simply want everybody to stop acknowledging that bad things happened in the past because it makes them feel icky. It's weird. It's very, very weird.
I understand you want to do things to get there, but the goal should still be kind of this liberal notion of colorblindness at the end of the day.
No.
Well, I would posit this question. When the culture wanted colorblindness, when that was like I guess, in general, the agreed upon goal, I feel like race relations were better, like much better than they are today, right?
Yes.
So
when?
Look, I'm not going to lie.
When were race relations better? Like when? Can you give me a year that race relations were better? Like when? You know, when was that? When?
Sometimes I'm a little scared or like I'm afraid of like talking to people who are outside of my race because I don't know if I'm going to unintentionally step in it, right?
Yeah.
Wow. What? Wow, really? Anna Kasparian, I'm afraid of talking to the blacks because I might get called racist, I guess, or something. Or I might have to talk about social justice or things that are inconvenient for me. What kind of conversations are you expecting to have with people of different races? What are you talking about? I'm afraid to talk to other races. What in the fuck? Are you kidding me? I can't even believe she said that. Hang on. I gotta know, like, did I just have a fucking hallucination? This is so crazy. Hang on.
Like, okay, I understand you want to do things to get there, but the goal should still be kind of this liberal notion of colorblindness at the end of the day.
Well, I would posit this question. When the culture wanted color blindness, when that was like I guess, in general, the agreed upon goal, I feel like race relations were better, like much
Right,
better
I
than they are
agree. Yes,
today, right?
yes.
So, look, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm a little scared or like I'm afraid of like talking to people who are outside of my race because I don't know if I'm going to unintentionally step in it, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's and I hate that. I hate that.
Right.
Like
And they're both just agreeing, like, yeah, it's hard to talk to people of other races. What? The fuck? Hey, we gotta keep listening to this because I don't want to misquote them. I want to make sure like I'm not taking this out of context.
there's this like I don't know, it's like frigid because like if all of the message is toward me and people who, I'm Armenian, but still they call me white passing. So, just got to go with that, right? If people who look like me are constantly told, you are inherently racist. Okay, you are inherently a bad person.
Who says they? And just tell them to shut the fuck up. Why? Like, okay, I have had people say that to me too. You're white, so you're inherently racist. You inherently are part of white supremacy. Blah 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 blah. I look. I gotta give you. This. It has happened to me. It does happen. There are people out there who will say that shit, and those people are jackasses. They're assholes. It's one thing to understand, like, whether or not you have some privilege or whether or not some of your behaviors might have like contributed to this or that, the other thing. That's another conversation, and it's one that if you're gonna have with somebody, you really have to have like a very calm, even-keeled conversation. But if you got somebody coming up being like, fuck you, blah, 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 this is what you do, okay? This is what you do. Fuck off. And ignore them. Walk away. Block them. Just ignore them. Like, that's what you do. Like, this is what an adult does. This is what a grown adult does, is you just go, fuck off, and you block them. What you don't do as a grown adult is now start shifting all your politics to come onto a show with a couple of dickhead disinformation agents to whine about how somebody was mean to you. The fuck? Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if that's the start, and I had this debate with Cenk when it came to our rhetoric in regard to the other side, right? If the starting off point is you are trash and we think you're evil,
Yeah,
then
totally.
how does that? You're never going to move in a better direction. You're not going to move the country in a better direction.
Again, she's framing this in the scope of like, this is a broader problem on the left. The left is doing this to her, not individual people. She's not calling out specific people, not calling out specific sections or subsets or whatever. She does say kind of like on the fringe at times, but this is a broader condemnation towards the left. This is the grift. This is the pipeline. We're watching it happen in real fucking time. Right now. Right now. And this is how she's doing it. And it's so 2016. It's so fucking apparent. First time I saw Sitch and Adam, one of them, I don't know which is which, said something weird about how you don't talk to him anymore. Adam's the one that actually has a camera. Me and Sitch never really talked. Me and Adam talked in the past. Me and Adam's most aggressive conversations we had were in private when I basically told him, you are making your audience stupider, and I know you're doing it, and I know you're doing it on purpose, and you're better than that, and you should stop. And then he basically started talking to me like a fucking grifter again, and I told him to go fuck himself. Like, nah, yeah, I don't talk to Adam. Well, actually, I do every now and then when I give a shit, talk to Adam. But sometimes he bans me or blocks me, then he unblocks me, and like, whatever. I don't care.
You're not going to improve race relations. You're going to make it worse. And that is what I see happening. I think a lot of the division is due to the backlash to that kind of rhetoric. And I think that, look, I think racism exists.
Racism exists. And then the left gets excited and starts talking about it. And a couple of dickheads that push it too far call Anna Kasparian racist. And that's what's setting back human progress. Got it.
For sure. Do I think the majority of white people are racist? Do I think white people are inherently racist? No, I do not. I think that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a racist stereotype.
Yeah. I mean, it's just as racist to say, black people are inherently dangerous and violent, right? That's a disgusting and racist thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it okay to have some generalized stereotype about white people?
It isn't. Nobody is saying it is. Nobody says that it is. What the fuck? I said anybody who has any degree of integrity will tell both of those people to fuck off. What? Shut the fuck up. She's not turning into J.K. Rowling. She's turning into a fucking right-wing propagandist.
I think that's wrong as well.
Look, when we covered a lot of the critical race theory debate that was...
So she can't have a different opinion about a particular topic even though she wants Medicare for all and housing? You guys have lost the plot with your cultist mentality. Really? Oh. That's an interesting take. She can have a different opinion all she wants. Absolutely she can have a different opinion. Yeah. Her opinion is fucking stupid. If she helps to get Medicare for all and housing, good for her. It's more important that people get Medicare for all and housing. Absolutely. But that isn't going to stop me from saying that she's a self-important, entirely selfish, self-focused, vapid, lying shit who's grifting. I'll still say that. She can believe good things and work towards good things, and that's great. And that matters more than her being a self-important shithead. It is. But I'm still going to call her a self-important shithead. And if you don't like that, then, I don't know, lay off the soy, snowflake. Also, I can tell who you are by saying, you guys have lost the plot. You guys. Them. They. Ooh. And honestly, if you're gonna be like trying to moralize at me right now, you know what I have to say to you? Play it. Fuck. Damn it. Fucking soundboard.
Obama.
No, not that.
Up yours, woke moralist.
That's right. Up yours, woke moralist. Suck my ass. Calling people liars and disinformation agents is what makes you cultish due to the frequency of your accusations. Have you met me? Is this your first time on my fucking channel? Like, you are aware that my entire channel has been either busting scams or focusing on people that intentionally lie and grift for money, usually through medical scams or through fucking cults. Like, that's literally what I've been doing for 8 years. Like, you get that, right? You get that? And that's not us, them, a cult. That's me. Fucking me. And you know what? How I know when somebody's grifting? Because they tried to get me to grift. They, and I will say they, and I tell you exactly who I mean. Right-wing corporations. specific organizations that were hiring YouTubers to try and pay them to push very directed and specific organized political agenda points. They tried to get me to do it, tried to get Chris Reagan to do it, tried to get a bunch of other people to do it. We declined. Other people did not decline. We know what we're fucking talking about. So fucking shut up. Jesus Christ. God fucking damn. Swear to fucking God, man. Tim Pool literally says he's Medicare for all because they have some good beliefs doesn't mean they can't have other bad beliefs. Exactly. No, I agree. I absolutely fucking agree. Absolutely agree. 100%. You can usually tell who's cult brainwashed because they use the same jargon over and over again, like virtue signaling, red pilled, and soy boy. Yes, but I love flipping it around on them. That is so fucking fun to do. So fucking fun to do. Holy shit. I legitimately believe that the right wing is where you'll find all of the social justice warriors these days. It's pretty fucking wild. Is there a video where you talk about that specifically? No. There's not really a whole lot to say. That's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, yeah. Former Facebook friend of yours, you've joined a cult, dude. Miss you. Sure you don't even remember me. Good luck, but I'm not optimistic. Oh, well. I remember you, Carson. I absolutely remember you. But what's my cult? Which cult? What cult have I joined? And what is the reason why you think I'm in a cult? Because I'm curious. I want to know what people's perspectives are on this. You know? Because, to be honest, me in 2016 and me now, politically, has shifted only to the point of what I think is a priority, but my beliefs are the same. They're absolutely the same. The only thing that has shifted dramatically in my beliefs was I had my eyes opened on the trans issue. That's it. That's it. Like, my videos back in the day where, like, you know, people were shaming Matt Taylor for a shirt because it had pinup girls on it, I was still right. I still believe that. I think those people who shamed him were fuckheads. Or that the destruction of Tim Hunt because he told some off-color joke and suddenly we lose a Nobel Prize-winning fucking scientist. He was fired from his job for that. That's fucked up, and fuck those fucking people. I still believe all the same shit that I believed back then. Like, I did not fucking change. And if you think I changed, it's probably because you did. Like, you went fucking traveling along with some other guy that went the wrong fucking direction, bro. But it ain't me. Ain't fucking me. And honestly, if I did have a cult, we'd all be fucking. Let's be honest. And I'd be in charge. If I had any membership whatsoever in a cult, it'd be my cult. And I would be fucking balls deep in so many people right now. All the fucking time. Holy shit. Anna being compared to Rubin is an example of the cult thing. It's not about beliefs. It's about securing echo chambers and purity spirals. Shut up. Jesus Christ. Securing echo chambers and purity spirals. What are you even fucking talking about? What do you mean, echo chambers and purity spirals? An echo chamber is an insulated little fucking community. An echo chamber is like a round robin of people who just basically pat each other on the back and say, yeah, you're right, yeah, you're right, yeah, you're right. Who? Who are you fucking talking about? Me? Ain't nobody patting me on the fucking back. You see anybody else around here? You see me talking to a bunch of other fucking YouTubers and shit? No. Not me. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The reason why Anna is fucking Dave Rubin is because she's following the exact same propagandist fucking pipeline. She's getting into the just asking questions. And look at the craziness on the left, which is why I'm starting to move over this. That's why. It's a perceived understanding of behavior told through somebody, myself, who understands the process. But the fact that you see that and then you use two different terms that are hyperbolic fucking terms pushed over on the right that are also old, 2015, 2016 type of fucking rhetoric, tells me something. It definitely tells me something. That you had an emotional knee-jerk reaction to the words that I put on the screen rather than actually listen to or examine it based upon what you understand of my character and the words that I say right now. And so you think that I'm in a cult. I'm in a cult? I'm the one in a fucking cult. Really? You think so? Because I gotta be fucking honest with you, man. You're not making a very good case right now. Not really. Fucking Christ on a crutch, dude.
Gets in line at Jeff's cult throwing kisses.
Right. That's right, Dorothy. That's right. You're getting the VIP line. You know what's up. Yeah, no, I mean, run Dave out of the group, and now it's time to run Ann out of the... Dave didn't get run out of the group. Dave literally went and worked for The Blaze. He went and he fucking got hired by one of the biggest Christian propagandist media corporations on the planet. He got fucking hired. What are you talking about? Why? Are you fucking out of it? Is there really seriously anybody on this planet who thinks Dave Rubin is an honest motherfucker? Are you the one? Are you the one guy that is so out of fucking touch you actually think Dave Rubin is honest? What? Oh my God. Holy shit. Actually, the more we're talking about it in the chat, the more I think maybe we should start a cult. You know? Admission into the cult is really only $5 because we have to all push together for some pizzas. We're going to get pizzas delivered. And bring your own personal brand of favorite lubricant because everybody's tastes are always different. We don't want to have anybody like arguing over it.
Hey, Jeffy. Just hi. That's all I have to say.
Well, thank you very much, JC Hong. Appreciate that. I appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah. No, I'm in the echo chamber. That's why I spend my time analyzing right-wing content and, giving them credit when they get it, but otherwise trying to understand it. Sure. Yep. Big echo chamber over here, guys. Big echo chamber. Yep. I'm also the only motherfucking content creator out there that had anything to do with it that has the balls to still make jokes about Kekistan. All right? Everybody else ran and hid from that shit. Not me. I own it. It's mine. That'll be my cross to bear.
I got VIP suckers, ha ha ha.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Fuck. Did I get your biddies? Oh, for some reason, it didn't read it. I'm sorry. My partner's going down this road, helped along by conservative podcasters. I had to tell him I'm proudly liberal. Now he won't talk to me about his perspective. Literally stops the arguments in our home. And the thing, though, is that there is a way to have a conversation when you're coming at it from different perspectives. But the thing that you have to do, if you're gonna try and broach some of these issues, is first and foremost you have to accept, number one, your love for for the person that you're with, or even if it's not somebody that you love, that your mutual respect and humanity for the person you're talking to should be more important than politics. Should be always, no matter what, doesn't matter. When you talk to another human being face to face, their humanity is more important than your politics. Your humanity should be more important than their politics. And then you can have a conversation. But you also have to try and aggressively divest yourself away from the value of winning the argument and instead describe your values on it. And then you come to a mutual understanding. And be willing to accept if you don't know, or if you just aren't ready to accept something like that.
Here's
or you
my
just
cult membership
totally
fee.
disagree. Hey, be paradoxism. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you. Sitch and Adam are, liberals.
$5? Consider this my initiation fee.
Nice.
Also, was the guy you're arguing with born with a smooth brain, or did he have it done surgically polished?
You know what? I honestly don't even really blame Carson. I remember Carson. Carson had some tough stuff that he went through. And honestly, much like I did, and some other people have as well. When you go through the ringer and you've got just the right kind of personality to kind of affirm your biases, you're more willing to start believing them and following them into certain political discussions. You're more open and willing to accept what they have to say. Um, I think this is the problem with Carson right now. Is since 2016, there are people that he agreed with more than he agreed with me, and he has followed their politics into a different direction than me, which is why he thinks that I am somehow different than I used to be. I don't blame him though. It's totally fine. I'm judging him on the accusations he's making towards me because he hasn't been paying any fucking attention to what I say. So yeah, I got nothing against Carson. He seemed like a really nice guy when I was friends with him on Facebook, but saying some pretty stupid shit right now. Thank you very much, Shiloh She. Appreciate you.
It's going around. It's kind of gone away momentarily, but I imagine.
Oh, Riley13. Jeff, my love, longtime fan. I've been wondering for a while, did you switch over to streaming? So that's a complicated situation. So I love making videos. Making videos takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. I still want to, and I'm still actively doing it. I'm working on a video about RFK right now and his anti-vaccine bullshit on Joe Rogan. Because that, to me, is way more important than commenting on this cultural shit. I wouldn't even be streaming on my main channel right now, except I keep fucking up and forgetting to do it on my second channel. I do apologize for that. Everybody. Usually we try not to do politics on the main channel because that's not what I really care about, like deep down. I was just pissed and wanted to vent. But videos take a lot of effort, a lot of time, and YouTube ad revenue doesn't pay for shit. And the algorithm does not fucking like me. And as much as like I would love to just do it for the sake of just doing it, I also have to consider bills to pay. This is technically my business, So yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, sometimes I have to prioritize just streaming because I do generate more passive income or active income doing that than I do making videos. So sucks. I'd much rather just make videos.
It'll probably come back with the election coming because obviously they're going to use it to hit DeSantis. But I mean, a lot of, and Sitch can speak better to this than me because he's read a lot of the books on critical race theory. It seems like critical race theory is trying to promote this negative stereotype of whites, that whites are just inherently racist.
It is not. That is not part of critical race theory. That's never been a part of critical race theory. There are lots of people who will utilize the methods of critical race theory in order to push that, but that is not actually a component of the actual academic area of critical race theory.
And that liberal society will never be able to be colorblind because of this inherent racism that they have. And they've even labeled it whiteness, which is like, we've had people on the show before that have tried to tell us, no, whiteness is just, that's just neutral. And I'm like, well, I mean, if we were talking about criminality and wanted to label it blackness, don't you think people would kind of be...
Oh... Yeah. Sitch and Adam, the liberals. Wow. Yeah, I just touched on trying to defend DeSantis. Yep. Yeah, whiteness doesn't equal fucking white people. Whiteness is and listen, I don't even like the term whiteness. I think it's a really stupid fucking term. I think it's predisposed to just self-destruction. Using that term when discussing things in broader topics in public, people are going to respond to it very negatively. But it isn't what it means. Whiteness does not mean white people. Which is why this is so fucking crazy. That's so fucking nuts. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is fucking crazy. He does think that's a clever retort. Yeah. Of course he does. When did you get into Warhammer 40K? I have always loved Warhammer 40K. I unfortunately had to sell my armies 9 years ago because I was short on rent. So I sold all of my miniatures, and it made me very sad. You should be critical of critical race theory as you should be with all theories. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, like I've never told anybody that like, yeah, you should believe critical race theory, blah blah blah. No, it's honestly, critical race theory is a type of analysis, and I think it can be a
How long before Anna starts talking about replacement, claiming she's just asking questions?
not long.
Thinking face.
Not long. Not long. She's not far from that. I'm being totally honest with you. I don't think she's far from it. That's just my opinion. It's my opinion. But yeah, like it's just you can what you should do if you're gonna be honest about critical race theory is you should analyze critical race theory from a neutral perspective and instead be more vigilant about how people utilize it and what they're saying after the analysis, right? That's the most important part. I'm white, but whiteness isn't a part of my personal identity in a significant way. Yeah, it's absolutely true for that to be the case. You know, like say you're born pretty poor in a very depressed neighborhood, like there is absolutely Hey, I got a new patron. Thank you. I couldn't see who that was. Thank you. To the degree in which whiteness as a concept is even going to apply to you is greatly diminished. Greatly diminished. Because it's a way of describing certain types of cultural phenomenon that are largely attributed along racial lines, usually around white people, which is why they named it whiteness, but that's a really bad fucking branding, and I really wish it wasn't called that. I think 90% of the cause of people like shrieking and pissing their pants over the concept of whiteness would go away if we just called it something different. But yeah, I don't know.
Thinking that's a little racist, like we probably shouldn't do that. So, but so many people who study this critical race theory stuff, they're like, they're working on their PhD in it, like they're fully invested in the system. They've got some advisor that has studied it for 35 years. Like, you're never going to change their minds about this stuff. It's kind of, I don't necessarily know where we turn on it.
I mean, look, for academics who have dedicated their lives to that type of curriculum, yeah, I mean, they've dedicated their lives to it. It's pretty deeply ingrained in their minds. It's kind of difficult to reverse that. But
so you want to wait, but okay, hang on. Why would you want to? Because you're talking about people that are like super dedicated to this. That's people in college, and this is like what they've chosen to do with their careers, and you just actively want to try and convince them to not do that? Like, why? What? Why? What a waste of time. Why would you even bother? I think evolutionary psychology isn't inherently pro-patriarchy. Sarah Hardy cites evolutionary psychology and her feminism, but people think evolutionary psychology is about rationalizing patriarchy because Jordan Peterson uses it in that way. Right. Yeah, and evolutionary psychology is a really contentious it's a contentious area for a lot of different reasons, and I think if not for some of the historiosity of like bad actors making some really bad conclusions through the lens of evolutionary psychology, I don't think it would be necessarily so hot ticket to discuss, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is basically what I think.
The whole thing, look, I don't agree with CRT. I don't agree with that theory. I don't, whatever. But my issue with the right was that
but okay, hang on. And somebody in the chat says CRT is a religion. CRT is a method of analysis. That's all it is. That's it. It's not any deeper than that. Okay, listen. Okay, now, let's just. I can actually explain what CRT actually is. Okay, very simply. And this is all it is. Anything on top of this that anybody else tries to add on to it is something that is right-wing fucking rhetoric, because they utilize this as a sledgehammer to try and push against anybody utilizing CRT as a method of discussion. Critical race theory is a type of critical theory. Critical theory is a means of analysis and looking through history in which you can say, hey, this historical event happened. which then left the effect of moving to this thing that happened, which then, because of that happening, led to this happening, right? Okay? Like, for instance, maybe this one empire went to war with another empire and smashed it. Now, because that empire wasn't around to have competition towards this empire grew bigger. That's the kind of like step to step to step. It's a critical analysis of the different sociological factors that have happened through history, through society, in order to be able to see how things connect. Critical race theory is looking at history, specifically the history of race relations, and seeing what kind of causal effects there could be. For instance, because there were black African slaves in the United States, and there was a disproportionate amount of them that were impoverished, especially after Reconstruction, and we didn't do a good job of Reconstruction, that it made a perpetuated system of poverty that took generations and generations and generations to start to heal, and quite likely might still have those effects today. That's it. That's all it is. There is nothing deeper than that. Nowhere in critical race theory does it say, white people are bad. That's it. There's nothing more to it. It's a revolutionary ideology? Really? It's a revolutionary ideology in order to look at history and be like, yo, a bunch of those people were black and poor, and so their kids were black and poor too. That's a revolutionary ideology? Is that really what it is? Is that a revolutionary ideology? Yeah, and our country was founded on a revolutionary ideology too. Yeah, no. That's the thing that's so crazy about that Super Animaniac. The fucking guy, Christopher Rufo, the guy who started the whole panic over CRT, openly admitted that he did it to fuck up politics. He openly did it because he wanted to make it so anybody talking about race would automatically be painted in a bad light.
Yummy.
Aw, Sam, you idiot. Thank you so much for the biddies. Appreciate you. It's fucking nuts, dude. But the only reason why people think that it's like a bad thing, and also it's an academic topic. It's something that's really only taught and analyzed in colleges. That's it. You can use critical race theory as a concept, and you probably have without knowing it, to kind of think about and understand the concepts of how things have cause and effect. You've probably done that all the time. We as people normally and naturally do that kind of shit. But because certain people, dickheads, throw everything into CRT, and because there are some scholars who believe, who push CRT, well, not push, who are versed in CRT and then make really shitty conclusions and say some really shitty things, it has now been conflated into like this big evil thing, which is why somebody in the chat here thinks that it's a communist academy exclusively Frankfurt school, blah, 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 which it's not. It's just, it's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb. Ooh, yeah. No. That dude's gonna go away. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. James Lindsay's appearance on Dr. Phil was fucking hilarious. I've heard leading advocates in CRT reject the current liberal order as means of addressing the current racial grievance. Is that true? Would you agree? There were some that were. Yeah, there was a conference that was held where a few people who outright discuss race under the lens of critical theory, so CRT scholars-ish, talking about how liberalism doesn't work and isn't addressing inequalities in society. And that's their perspective. And they have every right to have that perspective if they want to. This is America. You can have whatever opinion you fucking want. You know what I'm going to say? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I am very much in favor of trying to correct the wrongs of the past, but in ways that I think are going to be productive.
Yummy.
Not being an SS is cultish now. Who would have known? Cheers, bud.
I know, isn't that weird, isolationist? I like the idea of a progressive campaign in order to solve inequalities. But I think that there's a really interesting way to conceive of it. Let's take education, for example, right? Historically speaking, black people, their schools tend to be less quality. And that's because the way we fund schools here in the United States is based on the taxes gained from home ownership. So if you live in a poor neighborhood and the houses aren't worth as much, those schools get less money than the rich neighborhoods. And that's fucked up. Now, it just so happens to be, and that it impacts white people too. It just so happens to be that it inadvertently, or maybe advertently, impacts black people more than it impacts whites. So there's this idea that we should maybe make it easier for black people to access better education. But then you come into the question of, well, why don't we just do that for everybody? And that's my answer is, yeah, we should just do that for everybody. Everybody has the same access to the same high quality, exceptional education. And then hopefully over time it corrects itself. That'd be great. You know? Urban renewal projects, trying to improve the human condition. There's so many things that I think we could do in the world right now. If we just made our country better, made people healthier, made people happier, give them more time to be happy and with their families, less reliance on work, less economic burden, the ability to find the shelter if they need it, to be able to get healthcare anytime they want, to make sure that everybody gets fed evenly, I think overall would not just improve everyone, but would also make up for a lot of the inequalities that we do have systemically from the historicity of racial oppression, which is objectively true. So I think if we just made things better for everybody, that it would actually solve the whole issue. But the problem is, you can't do that because that's communism, it's socialism, it's a Marxist agenda. Bunch of dumb dog shit. So yeah, that's my answer. You know, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Do we get more Anna? Honestly, no. I mean, if you guys are really interested, we can watch some more of this tomorrow or something. But I got a very hungry kiddo staring at me in the doorway. Yes, I know. You want food. You want me to make you some food? All right, put your plate up there. All right, I'll make us a pizza here in a second, okay? Love you. Yeah, I'm going to go be a dad.